Leisure, go.
This is real, brother. This is wrestling.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wrestle Pierce Raw Review. I'm your host, Ibu of Wrestle Pierce, better known to many of you guys as Backup Hangman. And as usual, I'm joined by my co-host, Rob of the C Nation. And we're here to cover an extremely eventful episode of Monday Night Raw. Last night was the fallout to SummerSlam. New directions, new champions, new storylines, a lot to get into. And we're going to be covering what I thought was one of Triple H's best Raws that he's done of the year. A show with numerous really good matches, a great crowd, and like I said, a lot of new directions and new storylines. Last night's Raw, just to get ahead of it, was very much the status quo reset that I asked for a week ago when I said that we needed to shuffle the deck and kind of get a new landscape of things coming out of SummerSlam, and that's absolutely what we got last night. So I'm very excited to talk about the show. I'm very excited to hear what Rob thought about certain things, because we didn't talk too in depth about the show prior to this. So I'm curious what he thought about various things on the night. So I'm excited to get into it. And I'm excited to hear what you guys thought of the show. I wonder if you guys liked the show. What do you think? What really stood out to you? So make sure to like the video, comment, send super chats. Definitely send us super chats if you have any questions. You know, any maybe the hot button news topics going on right now in pro wrestling. On anything that happened on Raw or coming out of the show. Go for it, man. Let it fly, man. This is your show, guys. This is your show to get your opinions out. We'll talk about all that stuff and more. So again, make sure to like the video, comment, and send super chats. Send super chats. We'll read them on air. Rob, how are you doing today, brother?
I'm doing amazing because last night's Monday Night Raw was amazing. I went into
Really
Raw
strong.
very excited. An hour before Raw came on the air, actually, my power went out randomly, so I had to go to an entire new location to watch Monday Night Raw. But I did catch all of Monday Night Raw because I was super locked in, and it was a great show.
Yeah.
Bronson Reed looked like a real star to me for the
Mhm.
first time since he came back. We got progression with CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. We got progression with and Punk didn't have a bad promo this month.
No, it
He
was one of his
actually did
better
really well.
babyface promos. One of his better babyface promos.
He was like, "Hey man, I got knocked down, but we always get back up. We always get back up." Gable, we'll talk about Gable. I've kind of calmed down since last night.
Yeah, you were
But
kind of
we'll-
crashing out a little bit. I can't lie.
Hey,
And
bro.
I'm usually with you with Chad, but I thought last night everything that they did, to be honest, was about as good as you could have hoped for. To be completely honest.
Also, guys, Jonna is in the chat. She did want me to tell you guys that she is trying to come back.
Oh man,
She's
we should have
attempting to make a return.
we should have tried to make that make that a surprise. But yeah, man, I think
they don't know when.
Someday Voltron will be complete, and we'll have Isra and Jonna, and we'll have the 4-person unit, which that'll be a trip. But inshallah, hopefully it all works out. Yeah, Isra's still dealing with her legal complications. The system's trying to get her, and Jonna has to figure out her work schedule. But in the meantime, you still got us. You still got your boys, the best Raw review in the business. And we're going to talk about last night's show. Again, send us your super chats, guys. I'm really curious with you guys. What's up?
You got a lot of super chats.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, you got like 10 of them.
Yeah. Last night's I also want to thank real quick. I want to thank you guys for making last night the most viewed worldwide in months. Huge show. As of I think last night, we were at 3,000 views. We may be even higher than that now. I'd have to check it out. But you guys were great last night. Thank you so much for supporting and coming out in droves for the big SummerSlam review on the Russell Pierce channel, as well as the big news that broke of the Lucha Brothers being expected to go to WWE by sources in AEW, multiple sources. Some speculating that they're going to WWE, others outright saying that it's going to happen and it is a formality. Thank you guys for really supporting that show and making it one of the biggest worldwides that we've done of the year. So I really do appreciate you guys for that. And with that said, Robert, let's get into these super chats.
Yes. Honest Sultan 499. Reliable worker, over with the crowds, can do too many high spots, doesn't need to. Great hot tag. Walls could probably get her Kamala her first 4-star.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
he's talking about Tim Walls, the VP pick. Yeah, I was doing some reading up on him because I wasn't super familiar with him, but yeah, it looks like he's a good choice for the Democratic Party from an electability standpoint. So it looks like they got a solid and balanced ticket there. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, Tim Walz is your VP candidate for the Democratic Party.
I think that it's kind of balanced.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's kind of we don't really know who's gonna win.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Karthik 100 rupees. A good SummerSlam build parlayed into a good post SummerSlam Raw. How many matches do you think Punk and Drew have? Will Punk work the Berlin show?
CM Punk was told he's not in Berlin, but nothing is set in stone on CM Punk. I don't think he'll work. Yeah, I don't think he's gonna work it though. I don't think so personally. That's my opinion. As of right now, they said no to him on Berlin, but he the vibe apparently is he's just kind of we'll see. He has a feeling they'll want him to do something on the show, even if it's not a match. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's kind of the deal with CM Punk.
Definitely.
You know who is going to be on Berlin? Braun Breaker, baby.
Yeah.
Braun Breaker. I think he's working Ilya. I'm pretty sure he's working Ilya.
That's going to be a great match.
I love Sami Zayn, and I think he's an amazing wrestler. Braun has better chemistry with Ilya than he does with Sami Zayn.
It's kind of crazy. Because all they do, but it's also the fact that Ilya and Braun just go out there and beat the shit out of each other. Legit.
They beat the shit out of each other. Their last match on Raw was awesome. Now imagine that, Rob, with a hot European crowd.
Yeah.
and extra time on pay-per-view.
No,
Just
that match is gonna be great.
them just beating the dog shit out of each other for 15 minutes is gonna be amazing.
That shit is gonna be great, and I'm gonna be locked into every second.
Yeah.
Thank you for the super chat, Corey David, $2. NXT moving on up. We need a Wrestle Purist NXT review show. We used to do one of those, like in the middle of the day. It wasn't a review, but it was like
We would
you just
cover it a
discuss
little bit. Rob, I know Rob would probably do it, but who would do it with Rob? That's the question, because it's not gonna be me.
That shit is in Chicago and St. Louis is insane.
Then again, if I see like Stephanie Vaquer and Julia and the Machine Guns every week, I might actually watch that.
Bro, that's gonna be
we'll see.
gas.
I might watch that.
Bro.
We'll see. Yeah, man.
CW
This is referring to the big news. NXT CW debut on October 1st, I believe it is. I want to say it's October 1st.
Yes.
That will be in the Allstate Arena in Rosemont, Illinois. That's huge because the NXT TV since this entire Shawn Michaels era, it's been in the Performance Center. They've never gone out of the PC for the TV. They've gone out of the PC for pay-per-views, but not for TV. And they're leaving the PC and they're running, Rob, a building that, I mean, like it's like an 8 to 10K seater. And if they get rid of the stage like they did for like Mania season, like you could house like 3,000 more. Now, this is a big swing for NXT. I'm not sure how many tickets they can sell to this. But if they can get like 7,000 people in this building, 8,000 people in this building, 9,000 people in this building, you're looking at a big time show. And I'd have to imagine, Rob, that they have something on their sleeve that makes them confident that this is going to be big time. Now, obviously, they've made it clear already that CM Punk is likely going to be on the Chicago show. Randy Orton will be on the St. Louis, Missouri show the week after that. But even beyond that, between the signings of Julia and Stephanie Vaquer and running Allstate Arena and CM Punk being there, and the possibility with all the looming free agents that are out there right now, Robert,
right,
or that will be available come that point, you have to speculate at this point, like, who is going to be the 1995 Lex Luger? Is it the Lucha Brothers? Is it Daniel Garcia?
That's literally what I was just about to ask you. I was just about to ask you, like, who do you think, like, with all this free agency going around, who do you think makes the big jump on those episodes around that time?
Ah, man, it's tough because, like, in the case of Daniel Garcia, right? He has not signed an extension with AEW. Nothing is set in stone or finalized in terms of what he's going to do with his future. And I can tell you that it's a hard choice for him in the sense that he feels that he has a lot to still do in AEW and accomplish. But he's also very aware of WWE's interest. And if the fans notice, he's obviously going to be aware of the fact that he does have an opportunity to make a gigantic splash by being the guy that walks in and just becomes the talk of the industry. Now, is that going to be enticing enough to make him want to leave? I don't know. He hasn't signed anything yet. I think it'll be up to, honestly, the NXT people and WWE to try to make a harder push if that's something they really want to get. If they really think DG is the centerpiece of this new NXT, like in their mind, right? Looking forward to the CW era, if they're thinking, okay, the three-headed monster of Roxanne, Julia, and Stephanie is going to guide our women's division with girls like Sol Ruka and Jada Parker and Kalani kind of doing their thing. Like, they're set on the women's side. You look at the men's side, you got Trick Williams, you got Javon, you have a great tag champs with Axiom and Frazier, but there needs to be more there. And if you're NXT, you got to sit in the room and go, all right, so who are we investing our time and money to try to acquire to fortify our men's side? And if I'm in the room and I'm with them and that's my job is to make NXT better, I'm going, yeah, you make a push for DG. You make a push for the Machine Guns if they haven't already. You make a push for these guys. So we'll see what they do and how hard they push because, I mean, depending on how hard they court Daniel, it might sway him, but it's not a guarantee. You know,
imagine Fraxium versus MCMG or fucking the Lucha Bros on like one of the first episodes or like an NXT pay-per-view, bro.
So that's the thing. I think Rob, I think Axiom and Frazier are going to kind of like landslide their way into being tag team of the year because like when you look ahead at like some of the matches they're probably going to have, including tonight, because tonight they're facing MSK, Wesley and Zach Wentz. That's going to be awesome. And I'd anticipate that they're probably going to face the Machine Guns at some point coming up. And then you look at maybe other matches they could do. If they want to do a TNA Worlds Collide, you could have them facing ABC, which is Chris Bay and Ace Austin. I mean, you just look at some of the matches they could have. Like, they're gonna really cement this thing, and I'd really lean even harder into Axiom and Frazier going into the CW. That's an act that you open that first show with. Hot crowd in Chicago. Axiom, Nathan Frazier just doing the most explosive, exciting shit you could fucking imagine. So yeah, we'll see. Again, we'll see what happens. I think that they do need to make a big free agency splash. We'll see who that is going to be. Are the Lucha Brothers going to go to NXT? Are they going to stay straight on the main roster? Are they going to go for Daniel Garcia? You know, is there an under the radar kind of quietly sitting at home AEW talent that's going to make a jump? Are they going to try to sign an international wrestler? All these questions are yet to be answered. I don't have the answers for you. All I can do is make educated guesses, but I do think they're going to go for a gigantic swing on that first show in Chicago.
Definitely. And do you think? I don't think Punk wrestles. I think they announced him being there.
He's a nut. He's a nut job, so he might.
He might.
He's out of his fucking mind.
Are y'all ready for that? Y'all ready for that Chicago Core Jade return, brother?
Oh my god! Give me Obafemi and Javon. That would be that. Give me Obafemi and Javon.
Definitely. We're gonna see. Thank you for the super chat, Adi. Thank you guys for all the super chats. We have 17 right now.
Wow.
Thank you guys for all the super chats. Yo, can Raw be good like this every week?
Yeah, you notice how like the show is good and like more people are popping in enthusiastic to give their opinions on things.
Raw's bad. We got 160 viewers, 5 super chats in 10 minutes. Raw's good.
Niggas sitting around depressed and shit. Just like, yeah,
they're like, yeah, bro, it's kind of bad. Raw's good. We got almost 200. Got a 50. I think that's a $50 donation.
We got breaking news from Fightful, Rob.
Oh shit.
Kirk Angel, NXT.
Yeah.
You are such a drone. You are such a drone.
Let's go.
You are such a drone.
I was talking to AO about this last week when we were watching TNA. I've kind of invested a little bit of stocks in this heel Josh.
In Josh Alexander?
In heel Josh Alexander.
My problem is NXT doesn't have like the technicians anymore. Yo, honestly, if Noam Dar was healthy, I'd bring Jonathan Gresham in to kind of go at it with him and just wrestle, not do the Black Goo stuff, but just wrestle. Same with an Alexander, but
I can't tell. I can't tell if the Black Goo thing is something John want to do, like if it's something he want to do, or if it's like something they just made him do.
I don't know. Gresham doesn't talk to me anymore, so I don't know.
Because it's kind of like it kind of seems like he enjoys it. I don't know.
It's really hard to tell. Really hard to tell. But yeah, so Josh Alexander has been for the official information. He's been discussed to appear on NXT.
Let's get it.
When Fightful leaks that in the afternoon like that, it usually means he's probably going to be hinted at or showing up on the show. So.
He should pull up and hit a Hendry with a C4 spike on the floor.
I can see him attacking Hendry because aren't they feuding?
Yeah, and he's facing Coffee. Ew.
I will not be tapped in for that.
I would not be locked into that.
Not locked into that.
Super chat. Muhammad Zora, $10 Saudi Arabian. It's a third word. I'm gonna memorize it. What happened with Vinci and Ludwig?
There's speculation that they had a personal falling out, and that led to the demise of Imperium as a 3-person unit.
Yo, what up? What? What happened?
There is speculation that they had a personal falling out.
No, I'm just they just decided they didn't want to really be friends anymore.
What's everybody in the chat writing? I don't like y'all.
Come on, guys.
I really don't like y'all.
Come on, guys.
My mind's telling me no.
Yo, what is all this in the chat?
Yo, the chat is going crazy, yo. Yeah, the chat is going crazy. Niggas writing speculate. Hey, listen, man, you gotta be, there's a way you gotta talk about these things on air,
Accusations.
Hey, I said speculation.
That's what we need to do for AEW. Bring Rick Ross back.
Yo, Rick Ross on TV was fire. Do you remember when he did the double stop on Swerve and he was like, Maybach music?
He wanted to yell Maybach music, nigga, so bad.
Yeah. In my mind, he went, Maybach music, nigga. He just
Yo, remember? He's standing there with Keith Lee. He's like, yo, you a big motherfucker.
he said, that's a big motherfucker. Yo, Rick Ross and the mogul affiliates was gas.
That was so gas. Yo,
Bring him back.
Mogul affiliates. Pay him whatever you gotta pay him.
Brian Danielson. Ain't no more yes chant, nigga. It's over for you.
We don't do that in 2024.
We don't do that in 2024. The untouchable Maybach Empire.
We do big business. We make boss moves.
Someone said Rick Ross would save AEW. That's facts.
100%. 100%. Thank you for the super chat. Corey David, $2. My boy Rob gonna crash out about Gable. Not really. I was crashing out last night because I was kind of like annoyed because then I wasn't thinking about it, and then AO brought up to me that he was like 2-7-1, and I was like, oh fucking brother. But I'm not really tripping about it. We'll talk about it later. Thank you for the super chat. Another $2 from Corey David. Ibu, have you ever pitched any ideas to NXT?
I have pitched ideas to NXT, to Raw,
yeah, like have you ever
to SmackDown, to Collision, to Dynamite, to Ring of Honor.
Yeah, man. There was just one segment in MSG. I don't
have any of these pitches been used. I'd say, like, in the grand scheme of everything, maybe 15% of them have been at least taking a percentage of. Yeah, I've had little things trickle in the AEW TV and in WWE TV. Actually, to be completely honest with you, I actually think I'd say more like 30% of the things that I've pitched to WWE have actually been used. To be honest with you.
And bro, but the thing is, you're not subtle about it. Like when you
yeah,
do it, and then you go on the timeline on your main account, you'd be like, "Yo,
no." There was one I was unsubtle about because it was like 100% just my baby. But when it comes to like me just pitching like things for like story directions and things of that nature, I will pitch that stuff all the time, and then they'll end up kind of like literally just seriously considering it and using elements of it like every week actually, and I feel like if people try to guess which things they're not going to be able to successfully do so. But yeah.
Definitely. Thank you for the super chat, Adi, 100 rupees. Excuse me. Raw was a good table setting show. Excited to see how Gunther Randy Orton plays out. The tag division is getting Sammy and Jay, and all of the Judgment Day business was awesome. Yes, I agree. And it was nice to see stories laid out throughout the show for different things, and it was nice to see that the Judgment Day didn't get bitched out by Damien and Rhea.
Yeah,
it's gonna take some time for that to take place, but yo, that shot, we're gonna talk about it, but that shot of like Finn just being like, I got my own family, and the Judgment Day,
yeah, that was a great
shot
reveal.
was kind of gas.
That was a great review, and I actually love it. I'll bring this up later too. I like how they tied the continuity of JD and Damian Priest, because the truth is, Damian never liked him. He never passed his smell test. He was always wary of this guy. Never wanted him in. He let him in because Finn Balor co-signed him and vouched for him. And when you trust your mans, you let your mans in because you trust your mans. But what we came to find out is the guy that he trusted was a snake, and that's Finn Balor. So, yeah, it came to bite Damian Priest in the ass, and he had to handle business with JD McDonough. The Collision rating is out, Rob. Do you care to know the rating of this Collision episode?
What was the rating of the Collision episode?
189,000 viewers.
I mean, it was on early.
Yeah. How was it?
WWE literally did their pre-show up against it.
Yeah. How was the show? I didn't catch it. I heard the main event was great.
The main event, I only caught the main event. The main event was really good.
It was like a big multi-man tag, right?
Yeah, it was like an 8-man. It was like Undisputed Kingdom with Beast Mordos versus the Conglomeration. It was really good.
I'll probably watch that when I get a chance. Thank you, Aditya.
Hush, 199. What's Punk Cody doing for Berlin?
Already answered this earlier with Punk. I don't think, as of right now, he's not on the card in a match, and I don't expect him to be added to one. CM Punk thinks he'll be needed on that show, and for Cody, I think this is dependent on Jacob Fatu's status, to be honest with you. But I think, Rob, I really believe Cody Rhodes was supposed to team with Roman Reigns to face Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa.
I really do think he was supposed to.
Yeah. We'll see what happens with Jacob. WWE thinks he's all right, but what do you mean by all right? All right as in like a couple weeks? All right as in it's not broken? All right as in
I think he's fine, because if it was like serious, they would have stretched him out like we were talking about the other day. And then he was like, it only took one referee to hold him up.
I don't think this is gonna happen. I just saw someone in the comment. No fucking. Could you imagine they put Roman versus Cody on this show?
Yo, that would be fucking crazy.
If you had a doubleheader, Rob, could you just imagine that card? Pete Dunne versus Sheamus, Braun Breaker versus Ilya Dragunov, Roman Cody, Randy Orton, Gunther. That's like best WWE pay-per-view of all time territory.
Shit, let's get Reed and Rollins on that bitch too.
I don't think Seth is going to be able to poop straight for the next month, Rob. this nigga was putting it in his stomach, literally.
Yo, he was dead. He when he went up for the first one, I was like,
in his stomach.
Yeah, he went up for the second one. I was like, okay, surely that's over with. And then he did the third one. I was like, oh shit.
It's funny because my brother's a big Bronson Reed skeptic, and he got back on watching the weekly TV like a few months ago. And he was a big NXT dude, and he never liked Bronson because, like, he was like, "Why does this guy call himself the thick boy? What's wrong with this nigga?" But we watch the shows, and he enjoys the shows. But every time he sees Bronson, he's just kind of like, me, right? But I've been telling him, like, "Yo, man, not too much on Bronson lately. Bronson's been doing his thing," and he's still denying it, right? And then what's it called? This angle happens. I'm like, "Hey, man, you've been sleeping," and we had, no joke, Rob, a 45-minute argument of where Bronson, in the internal power scaling of Monday Night Raw, we had an argument of where he is in the power scaling. And I literally made, I don't know if I'm going to unleash this now or later, I literally made a Monday Night Raw in kayfabe power ranking of like who was the strongest men on Raw. Live chat, do you want to hear this ranking now or do you want to see it later? I'll let you guys
decide. Fuck it, we got 200 people. Let's let the people know our power ranking for Monday Night Raw.
All right. I'm gonna let y'all decide here. But so I'm gonna pull this up. Okay. Remember, Rob, this is based on like their portrayal, and this is not like how good they are as a wrestler. Yeah. This is not like overall. It's literally in kayfabe in the WWE Monday Night Raw canon. Who is the strongest person on the show? And you can tell by portrayal, by the finishes, booking, all that shit, right? Ranking. I excluded Chad Gable from this ranking because it's unclear at this point. It's unclear at this point where he's at, and I'm going to give it a couple weeks to know for sure. Yeah. Okay. And me and my brother decided on the line for what cuts off the main eventers and where is the top of the mid card. And we decided, I'll say ahead of time, we decided like about 4 to 5 people under the line can fight main eventers credibly,
right? And
like compete. Okay, I'll start with number 12. The 12th strongest person on Monday Night Raw, Rob, is Ilya Dragunov.
Yeah.
The 11th strongest person on Raw in the men's division is Finn Balor.
Yes.
The 10th strongest person on Raw is Jey Uso.
Yes.
The 9th strongest person on Raw is Sheamus.
Yeah.
The 8th strongest person on Raw is Bronson Reed. Number 7 is Sami Zayn. Number 6 is Braun Breaker.
Yeah.
Then we have a line, and this is the border to like the super big boy zone. Seth Rollins at number 5.
Mm-hmm.
CM Punk at number 4. Number 3, Damian Priest. Number 2, Drew McIntyre. Number 1, Gunther.
I don't have a problem with the list.
So in order from top to bottom, Gunther is the strongest man on Raw. Drew McIntyre is slightly under him. Damian Priest is slightly under him. CM Punk is right under Damian. Seth is under Punk. I have them at equal rankings. I even gave them overalls. I got Punk and Seth at 91. Then Braun Breaker, then Sammy, then Bronson Reed, then Sheamus, then Jey Uso, then Finn Balor, then Ilya Dragunov. So those are the big boys of Monday Night Raw.
I'm crying. Izzer said power ranking, and it's the most fragile-bodied wrestler that had one match that he lost.
No, but if you watch the match, he was gonna beat Drew. He was gonna beat that nigga. You know. You know what I was joking about, my brother? We were talking about like people's finishers, right? Bronson Reed, the tsunami. It's like a continent-busting move. That move
Basically.
can take niggas out, right? But
Yeah.
prior to last night, he only has the strength in his body, you know, the energy to unleash one tsunami a fight, one per fight, right?
Right.
But it felt like yesterday when he emerged to attack Seth Rollins that it felt like he was training in the mountains and unlocked the ability to do infinite tsunamis.
Bro, it was fucking great. Like, you know, I didn't expect him to hit that many
Yo,
fucking
Rob, are you good? You're on in 2 accounts and you have an echo.
Oh yeah, no, because I had to get up and go do something right quick. But I'm back. Bro, it was like the more tsunami, bro, and the one thing that I really liked was the referees kind of hovering around Seth, and every time he went up for another one, they all like acted like it was fucking knocking them over, like it was some fucking power level move. It was insane. That was the exact presentation they should have went for with that segment.
Wait, hello, can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, you good?
Is her talking to me? Are you saying I don't watch wrestling? Is she talking to me in the chat? I can't tell.
She's basically saying you didn't watch the match. No. She's basically saying that you are saying
That she didn't watch the match?
Yeah.
Oh no, listen. It's CM Punk is strong. He's very strong. The GTS can take down any man. Gunther would lose to a GTS. I think Gunther. Actually, no, Gunther would kick out of a GTS. But I don't think anybody else would kick out of a GTS on Raw. You know, it's a pretty strong move. The tsunami is deadly. That's, you know what I was talking about with my brother with Sheamus. Sheamus does not have any one bomb move. I don't think any move can destroy a mountain. But he has a collection of just effective tools. You know, it's why he can kill any mid carder.
Bro, it's like.
It's for the live chat. It's for nobody. Yo. Seth finishers don't be killing niggas, bro. Nobody loses to the pedigree, bro. Like,
how many curb stomps to take you, boo?
Bro, it be that nigga. Yo, oh my god, you know it's a weak ass finisher. The Crossroads, bro. That nigga needs to do
during the like, TNT title reign. I used to get so mad.
He had to do like 45 crossroads.
Okay, like fucking Lance Archer kicking out of it. I understand because Lance Archer's like 6'7", but Sonny Kiss and fucking Warhorse and all these indie guys kicking out of the crossroads. It's like, okay, bro. Will Roman say at WrestleMania that move don't beat nobody?
What? So yeah, the tsunami might be the strongest move on Raw. I'm like trying to think about it. Like as an individual move.
Yeah, because niggas be kicking out of the Claymore.
If you look at
Powerbomb.
Yeah, if you look at attributes, right? Reed's like destructive capabilities are very high. His weakness is like he has no defense, and you could beat him with that, you know. But the tsunami is remarkable, Rob. We're breaking this down technically. This is what you get on the Raw review, to be honest with you. What's the strongest technique on Raw?
What's the strongest technique on Raw?
I think the strongest technique on Raw is the tsunami. Like,
bro, no, I don't think anybody's ever kicked out of it. Ever.
Oh no. Bronson Reed's Braun Breaker's spear is strong as fuck.
Oh yeah, that too.
That kills me.
Shit. Oh shit.
What happened?
Wait, look in the backstage.
I don't see none. Who is that?
Is there?
Yo, do we have a problem? No, do we have a problem? Because I was trying to have a peaceful, like be able to just listen to you guys and watch and observe. I'm not even going to come on here till next week, but you pissed me off, bro. A power ranking, and he puts Punk over Seth, bro. You are on drugs.
Punk would beat Seth.
He's not going to, bro.
Pure kayfabe, no interference. Punk is beating Seth. He's stronger.
I just want you to. Okay, so I don't want to, snitch on the shit that we having backstage, but Ibu,
What's up?
Punk.
Yes.
Okay, how do I say this without saying it? How do I say this without saying it?
We're talking pure in story, in canon, kayfabe power scaling.
What Teddy Hart did to Punk is right.
What are we talking about?
Bro, how many showings did Punk have since his return? Real quick. He was at the Rumble.
Yes.
And he had that one match with Drew.
Yeah, he made it to the final 2 of the Rumble.
What happened to the powerful CM Punk after the Royal Rumble?
Drew McIntyre kept jumping him from behind.
No, in real life, what happened to the powerful CM Punk?
Oh, he got injured.
Right. So
that's real
that
life.
Should take him down. That should, first of all, you're on dick. That should take him down at least like 15 notches down the list. Because bro can't even stay healthy.
But then by that coin, that means that Ilya Dragunov and Finn Balor can beat him, which they can't. They can't beat him.
Well.
Ilya Dragunov would literally spit him out. What are you talking about? What are you
we
talking
taking,
about? It's the year 2024. We are not in the Bush administration anymore, Ibu.
When we talk about
not the Punk that you knew that was like, sitting with his legs crossed with a long black hair. That's not the same guy. Like, I know when you see him, you see that geriatric gray beard. He can't even stay healthy. He don't even go to the gym. Like, he don't even, bro. I'm sorry. Like, it's.
I think my ranking is factual, and we'll see in the coming weeks. Just
first of all, your ranking at the very start sucked because you put Finn over Ilya Dragunov.
It's
and
close.
Finn has
it's
been
hard to tell.
no, because when Finn came up, like, what was he doing?
What do you mean? I'm talking about like right now. Like this is like
at this point.
Right now.
Okay. So we're talking about today.
Yes.
Well, listen, I don't really like fuck with Finn like that. So whenever he's on screen, like, I just disassociate. So maybe I do have an inherent bias with that guy.
Yes, clearly.
But every single time, but I have eyes. And every time Ilya Dragunov wrestles, he's tough. Like, you could tell, like, he's a dog. You could tell that he's very capable of winning every match that he's in. But with Finn, it's like he's just kind of there.
I think Ilya's actual attribute is durability, because he doesn't win that many matches, but he doesn't straight up lose many matches on Raw. Like, he'll like with Braun Breaker, he's had 2 matches where one of them went to a DQ because Braun got frustrated he couldn't pin him, and then the other one was that the referee had to stop the match rather than him getting pinned because he was knocked out. So he's one of those guys that keeps getting back up, but he does not have any like big bombs yet. But he's in the mix. Everybody I listed were people that are all like credible and in the mix.
The thing is, I would have agreed. I would have let like all that shit slide. Got injured by Jinder. Okay, but Seth wrestles through his injuries.
Isra, why don't you have an
Seth wrestles through his injuries, and we can't talk about booking decisions when we're talking about.
Yes, you can. Yeah, no. Booking decisions are what inform this list.
Hold on, let me look at the chat.
Let's see what they're saying.
You know what? I think I'm gonna head out because honestly, I don't think you guys deserve me. See you never.
We miss you, Isra. We'll see you next week. She literally did that from her prison cell. It's like really crazy. Like, she literally phoned in from like the correction. My rankings are pretty factual. I think Gunther is number 1, Drew McIntyre, then Damian Priest. They're the strongest people on Monday Night Raw based on portrayal.
Bro, we are stacked up on super chats.
We'll keep it rolling, and when it comes to Raw, we'll just kind of adjust how we cover it to kind of make time and shit. But we're having fun, man. It's the post SummerSlam Raw. A lot of people here. We got a big house, 200 people in our live viewership. It's our biggest live viewership in a minute. Make sure to like the video if you haven't already. Give us your power rankings and your power scaling. I feel like I'm talking to One Piece and Dragon Ball Z fans again. But my power scaling is factual. My power scaling.
Yeah. Now, I was gonna ask you: are we taking into account like promos and stuff? Because we taking into
no. It's just like in the show. Based on this ranking, you have a decent idea. There may be some intangibles. We have a basic idea of who could beat who.
Y'all don't want this.
I'm not doing the NXT power scaling.
It's gonna get discussed. Yeah.
NXT is not booked competently enough for me to make sense of their rankings internally.
Number 6 is Brooks Jensen. And the reason being,
what the fuck?
Now, no. We can we'll do that at a later date. Let's keep going with super chats. Elite Merchant, $2. Sorry, Ibu, Punk over Penta. Hold this cult of personality.
This is a reference to Anjan yesterday before the Lucha Brothers news broke from myself. Anjan said, sorry, Ibu, Penta over Punk. And then he found out the Lucha Brothers are leaving AEW and actually Punk over Penta. So,
I mean, yeah, I mean, in terms of like all time, like what they've done, yeah, I mean, I can't disagree with that. Yeah.
he was just trying to tease me, but then he found out that they're leaving, so he said, fuck it.
If Penta gets the whatever they're about to pay him, 2 mil, 3 mil, whatever the fuck they're about to pay him, right? And he comes to WWE and he does like what he was doing on AEW TV, but like with 50% less effort. Oh my god, he'll be my GOAT.
Yo, I'm not gonna do a full one. Rich Dar in the chat said do one for SmackDown. If someone sends us a super chat, we'll try to do a try to do a brief SmackDown one, but you gotta pay us.
Oh, definitely. All right, let's see. Adi, another 100 rupees. IC title scene going forward should be Braun, Dragon Lee, Ilya. Well, if you could find Dragon Lee, Ilya Dragunov, Sheamus, Kaiser, and Dom Mysterio. Also, a Gunther Ray World Heavyweight Championship match. Gotta happen.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yo, Ray.
Yeah, let's do that. Yo, I can't lie, Rob. Gunther having a monthly title defense on all these PLEs, that's gonna be dangerous.
Dangerous, because they used to be able to keep him off the show because Seth had to do his thing.
Now I can't lie to you. Now that Gunther's champ, I'm like, yo, make more PLEs.
Oh shit! Can he hold it for a year plus,
bro? Because I'm sure Gunther's not gonna do that much wrestling on TV because he has the belt. So that's why I'm like, yo, make some extra pay-per-views and get this nigga on.
Yo, them two fall back to pay-per-view back-to-back defenses are gonna be way better than the Seth ones from last year. And niggas are gonna notice.
I will say this: Seth's reign picked up like at the end of the year because, bro, I hated the Nakamura shit because Shinsuke was just so bad, right? But I will be fair to him. The Saudi match with Drew was really good, and then Seth got pretty much the best singles Jey Uso match of all time when he worked him, if you remember. And then the Sammy match was great. And so like he was really starting to kind of get going there, but Gunther and it partially because he's just like he's amazing, but like I just think in general like Gunther's gonna have the best world title run.
Gunther don't gotta get going. He's already going.
Yeah. I think Gunther's gonna have a great match with most people. Yeah, I'm ready for it.
Thank you for the super chat. Hush 199. Lucha Bros starting NXT. They should be on Raw.
I can't speak on this. I'd have black SUVs in my house, in front of my house.
Now. The Lucha Bros in front of like that NXT crowd would be kind of crazy because they would go insane for the shit they would do. But at the same time, I feel like they're at that level where they could start on the Raw or SmackDown.
I think where they end up will be dependent on if WWE can land other people. That's my prediction.
Right.
Like Daniel Garcia, I think he would straight up be in NXT. I think the Lucha Brothers, it's dependent on who else they can get. So, for example, if WWE can get Daniel Garcia to put pen to paper, I think they go, okay, cool. We'll have the Lucha Brothers on Raw. I think if they're not able to make any other splashes free agency wise, they'll say, fine, the Lucha Brothers will be our big splash then for NXT and CW. Mm-hmm. I think it depends on who else they get.
Bro, there's another thing too. Is like there's also people still coming. Well, supposedly, allegedly,
probably gonna have the black SUVs coming to my house.
No, I mean, I'm not saying anybody's going to NXT. I'm saying we don't know who's going to NXT.
I wonder what's gonna happen with Ricky Starks.
Yeah, and people, I don't know because Ricky could go to NXT. People need to stop the age thing in NXT, bro. 43-year-old, 44-year-old Sean Spears is running around on NXT every week.
Ricky's 35. I wouldn't do longer than a year. You could have him in NXT, but I also would. He's also one of those guys that I would be fine with him skipping NXT.
AJ come to Raw. That would be interesting.
AJ Styles on Raw would be dangerous. Give me Gunther and AJ.
But SmackDown kind of does need him at the same time. They do. Legend Rider $5. Chance to unify the tag team belts, the tag team belts again with Jay, Sammy, and Bloodline. Both divisions are razor thin. Absolutely not. They shouldn't. So I don't think either division is razor thin. To be quite honest with you,
I think the tag division is not as good as it was a year ago, and
yeah.
I think that's probably why WWE's been looking at signing the Lucha Brothers and the Motor City Machine Guns.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, we need, like, last night was kind of cool because we kind of got like the Awesome Truth losing, but at the same time we need more than Awesome Truth, and the A-Town Down Under aren't even a Raw tag team. SmackDown.
They got the New Day, they got AOP, they got the new version of the Alpha Academy, we got the Creeds, but we still just need more. I think we still just need more.
You got the Judgment Day B team, I guess, with Carlito and Dom.
Yeah, there just needs to be more. Needs to be more there. Yeah. I'd so want Axiom and Frazier on the main roster, but NXT really needs them. So
really needs them.
They really need them
for right now. Corey David $5. Ebu, you watching NXT tonight? MSK versus Frazier, Kendall Gray in action, and Trick versus Pete at an Obu match in NXT. Good, yo. Kendall Gray is actually kind of good.
Yeah, I saw that last week. I watched that whole show in full. The last two women's matches were awesome. I'll watch this week. I usually watch the specials. I watch the specials usually. I'll watch this week. MSK versus Axiom and Frazier. I don't want to jinx it, but the best version of that match is incredible. So we'll see how much time they get and how creative they are. Because I thought the big 6-person tag from 2 weeks ago was really good. And at the same time, I felt like they were holding back certain ideas and saving those spots for the 2v2. That's why, if you notice, Javon Evans was the focus on one side, and showcasing the Rascals was the other focus. Like Axiom and Frazier kind of like they were just supporting roles in the match, and I felt like that was because they're saving their big stuff for this match.
Remember when Sean was just like, "Yo, fuck it, the Rascals versus Javon." Who was it? Javon.
That's the match I'm talking about. It was Javon Evans and Axiom and Nathan Frazier versus the Rascals. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that, like, in that match, you could tell Axiom and Frazier were saving some of their best shit for this match tonight.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to find, because Addie said we skipped one of super chats.
Okay.
So I'm trying to find it.
Mm-hmm.
But we can get into the next super chat while I do find it. Alex Diaz, with the Lucha Bros go to NXT first? Latest on Ricky. I think we kind of just
we already spoke on this. I don't know where the Lucha Brothers would start. It really depends on who else they land, and I'm not really sure what happens with Ricky Starks.
I don't know about Motor City Machine Guns. Raheem Mathani, $4.99. I don't know about Motor City Machine Guns, but if they're going to WWE, are they main roster NXT bound?
That's not decided. I don't really know. I get the feeling it's NXT, but I don't know that 100%.
NXT could definitely use them.
For sure. Like, they're veteran wrestlers that are really, really good in the ring. So,
and they could help a lot of people improve. A lot of people improve.
One thing I'll say is, some people in the industry that are like on the lower levels need to learn how to do this. Is when you don't know the answer to something, don't try to pretend to make one. And in the case of the Machine Guns, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen there. I really don't. So
definitely. When the fuck did that Josh Alexander shit drop?
While we were on air.
That was before Israel, right?
Yes. Why?
All right, cool. I'm just trying to find Addie's super chat.
Well, he could just re-ask the question and we can.
Yeah, just re-ask the question in chat.
Well, what was the question? We'll just address it.
Corey David $5. NXT about to put in SmackDown, Raw, AEW, Rampage, Collision, and Ring of Honor stomach.
I don't know. We'll see.
I'm just letting y'all know now. We're on the same time in his last year for Title Tuesday.
Rob's gonna be an animal because NXT is his show, but who knows how good the show's gonna be.
Y'all see it. It's big NXT hours this year. For the Title Tuesday versus NXT first episode on CW. So we'll be locked in. Thank you for the super chat. I Callum 17 times, 5 pounds. Ibu Punk was advertised for Bash. He was in the promo package at SummerSlam.
I know he was.
I mean, people are advertised for shit all the time.
Bianca Belair was advertised for SummerSlam.
She was not on SummerSlam.
She was not on SummerSlam,
which is ridiculous. But
yeah, that's how this shit goes. See, I'm just letting you guys know, like, as of right now, on the internal card for Bash in Berlin, CM Punk is not on it. CM Punk himself thinks that come showtime, he will be called to do something. So we'll see what ends up happening. But I'm just telling you guys what I was told.
Karthik 100 rupees. Does Reigns work a match before the Saudi show? Do you reckon Punk, Drew main events Bad Blood if they're healthy and free of incident?
Yeah, Bad Blood's main event is going to be Punk and Drew McIntyre in a Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, I think they just said something about that yesterday.
Yeah, Worked Wrestling reported it, and I asked, and I got told the same thing. Roman Reigns, I don't know. Roman Reigns does what Roman Reigns wants, you know?
Yo, what if he's just like, I'm not working till Royal Rumble, so y'all figured it out.
Someone
till Survivor Series.
Someone said, was Ibu taking a Waz? I was not peeing. I was that was my sink.
Matt Hennessy, a name I haven't seen in a minute. 59 euros. Do you think part of what may have influenced the Lucha Bros to leave AEW for WWE could be the bad booking of the tag division over the last 2 years outside of the Bucks and FTR? No teams are featured or pushed while WWE tag division is stacked.
I'm going to answer that by saying nobody knows for sure. I don't speak to Pentagon. I don't speak to Phoenix. And so because we don't know, I would not jump to think piece their reasoning for departing. Because for all the creative complaints I could make about AEW's tag division, for which there are numerous, for all we know, Penta literally just wants to secure the future of his family. Because what I can tell you about Penta's mindset is that was his primary concern regarding free agency, is that he feels this pressure that now that he's about to turn 40 next year, he knows that he doesn't have many contracts left in pro wrestling. And he feels it is the responsible thing to do with this next contract to make sure that his future is secured and his family's future and his children. So that's kind of what I heard on Penta when it came to his mindset. When it comes to his creative desires and wants, I have no clue where his head is at with that. And so maybe he did think, fuck the tag division, this is bullshit. Or maybe he just thought, people think I'm talking to Conan. I can't speak on that. But yeah,
I will say,
you know,
from my perspective, we're gonna keep it really short. I just think that like all the shit that they're doing is kind of like not really what they should be doing. Like the Guns should not have won the tag titles last year. The Acclaimed, I don't know what the fuck they got going on with the Acclaimed. It's absolutely disgraceful that MXM have just started in the promotion and are already beating Private Party, an act that has been around for 5 years. I think that's disgraceful and it should not take place. I don't care how over they are. That it basically sends a message that you don't care about your homegrown talent, and why would people want to come if you don't care about your homegrown talent?
It does kind of demoralize the boys a little bit in the back. Like they're kind of like, damn, like these dudes just walking in and smoking us. That's crazy.
That ass, bro. Like it makes it look like I could bust my ass for 5 years, 3 years for this person, and then I just get pushed over by these guys because they do funny poses and they're over. And I like Mansoor. Dio Madden is like kind of whatever to me. He's a cool guy, but I don't really look at him as a wrestler. But it's just like I think it's kind of like just a really, really horrible decision that took place on Rampage. But other than that, niggas got families, bro. That's another thing. People also got families. They don't give a fuck about none of that shit you're arguing about, bro. They're like, yo, that's what's up, bro. How many zeros on the check? So, thank you for the super chat. Corey David, $2. Sean Conan, get up Vikingo. I think they could do that because in Vikingo with AEW in a certain kind of way.
He's on a tiered contract. It's very complex, his contractual situation, and because of that, I refuse to speculate. So, yeah, he's on some type of tiered deal, but he's like AAA's property. So who the hell knows? Is Conan vindictive enough to serve him to Shawn Michaels? Yes, he is. Could he pull that off?
Be like, shit, bro. They don't own him.
Right. Could he pull that off without litigation from Tony Khan? I don't know. I don't know.
We'll find that out. Tricky Magician, $50. Bet against the bisexual Undertaker, paying him his dues. What does that even mean?
I don't know, but Damian Priest is peaking as a professional wrestler right now.
Yes, I think like last night was the most over he's like ever been in his entire career.
This last month, Rob, it felt like he was getting more over by the week. It was like crazy. It was like meteoric, to be honest with you.
And I think the Gunther feud really helped that, especially
Oh,
with the
absolutely.
promos and stuff that they were doing.
Gunther made him a bigger star, and then he had a great match, and then now he's coming out of the match with this big feud that's super hot, and
Hello? I don't know where Ibu went, but he was like in the middle of a point. He just came back and left. Damn, they say Conan got him. The black SUVs here. Damn, bro. They took Ibu. They really got Ibu, bro. This is crazy. All right, well, I guess I'm by myself. But yeah, we'll see what goes on with Damian Priest. I think all this shit that he's done in the last month, like I said, has helped him really get through what he's needed to get through to try to be a babyface in this a certain point in time. Here's Ibu. He's back.
Sorry. Wrestlers have a bad habit of trying to call me while I'm live on fucking air. It's I don't know, but
Yo, hold on, check.
Let's I'll tell you later, Rob. But I'm ready to go. Yeah. All
right. Next super chat, Hush 199. Dom's wife gotta be sick. They going crazy on TV.
They're going crazy on TV.
Yo, they are they are going fucking crazy on
Dominic's
TV.
wife is a strong woman, you know.
This is strong, yo.
You guys
any other woman would have been bombed the arena by now.
Yeah. You guys have been awesome with these super chats. I do got to say, thank you so much for the feedback and the support. I love it. I have no issues going longer on this review if it means that I get to continue to engage with you guys. You guys have been awesome with your feedback. Keep it coming.
Yes, definitely.
This will be a double-sized podcast, I guess.
We are an hour in, Ibu, and we still have like 16, 15 super chats left. So
that's fine. We'll go an extra hour on the pod. It's all right.
All right. Corey David, $2. I need that private party Javon Evans link up.
I don't think private party's looking to leave. They're just looking to break out of the zone that they've been in. They just want to finally break through the glass ceiling, so to speak.
And that's the thing, bro. They should be up there. Like, yeah, Mark Quinn was hurt for a long time, a really long time. But even back when he was hurt for a really long time, fucking Isaiah Cassidy was having good singles matches and good singles. He had a really good singles match like a month or two ago in Ring of Honor, I think, with Lee Johnson.
Yeah.
So it's just like
they're just looking to take it to the next level and finally progress with their careers.
It should be pushed, is what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why they're not pushed. Thank you for the super chat, Corey David Obafemi. Hi, Jag. Isn't he just great in the future? Yes.
Yeah, Obafemi is awesome.
He should have a match tonight, and the fact that he doesn't and Joe Hendry does is a disgrace.
His match with Duke Hudson was really good.
Really good. And I've been a person that's like kind of been down on Duke Hudson for a while. And that was really good. Jumanji Hunter, $2. Need a reliable wrestling gossip magazine for real.
I will not be there.
I'm gonna be locked in. I'm sorry.
Because the problem is when you become a news person, people want to kill you. So that's the thing.
Bro, that shit, like, you could literally just report something and 1,000 people will be like, yeah, right. Yeah, sure, pal.
Mm-hmm.
or you got Logan Paul being like, this is just not true.
The problem, that's the thing, it's like wrestlers are liars.
Liars, huge liars.
Liars. Their favorite thing to do is to see a report about them, and if it's unfavorable, just go, it's not true, even if it is true.
Cody
And then their
Rhodes was
fans go,
given
oh, that
5
guy's
reasons.
a liar.
Cody Rhodes is given 5 reasons why he left AEW, and it changes every year.
Wrestlers are liars. And then the other problem is there's already a distrust of the media. And then there's the fact that, like, the truth of the matter is, the reason why I don't want to be a full-on reporter is because people love playing that game of, like, oh, you know, he's just making shit up for, like, clout. Do you realize that, like, if I report something that's wrong, that's, like, really damaging to me? It's extremely damaging to me. And so I'd rather just not deal with the stress.
Like, no disrespect to this guy, it's why people really don't look at, like, Cassidy Haynes after that Saudi Arabia shit as, like, reliable anymore. Because he was like, yo, Saudi Arabia bought WWE. And then when that shit was, like, not true, and they were like, no, bro, fucking TKO's buying WWE. Now every time they put out a report, they're like, oh, this fucking guy. So
it's just not an easy game, and you have to confirm and double. Guys, I'll put it to you this way. You know how many things that I've heard that are like single source that I've not put out? It has to be over a dozen like little tidbits of info, and you don't put it out because until things are confirmed like to the like so much by so many different people, it's not worth it because it's just dangerous. It might not be true. I have to literally when I put out formal like reports of things or information, like the Lucha Brothers, for example, I had to confirm with like a half dozen people in AEW.
yes.
And so because your reputation is on the line. West Indian Archie in the movie Malcolm X said all a man has is his reputation. It's true. If Backup Hangman is known as a bullshit artist that isn't correct and accurate, that's a problem. And so I can't fucking miss. I can't afford to miss. That's why when people do the thing of like, oh, is it true? Is he accurate? Is it this and that? It's like, brother, if I'm not accurate and I get this wrong, that's it for me. So
why do you guys think that, like, when Dave used to put out reports, he used to be like, multiple sources in AEW or multiple sources in WWE have told me? He never just said a single source.
right.
Thank you for the super chat. Hush 199. Punk gonna have TV matches and feuds.
Yes, he's also going to work an upcoming European tour.
See if we can get through that European tour first, buddy. Thank you for the super chat. Black Yakuza 94. $5. I was so upset when I saw that they were having Seth work Braun, but I was legit hooked after the third tsunami. The dude had a defining moment in 5 minutes. Yes, it was literally 5 minutes. All it took was 5 minutes to make make Bronson Reed look like he was like a monster, a true monster, like a Big Show level monster. This is basically his Big Show push. It's kind of like when Big Show every now and then Big Show would kind of be unstoppable like he was in 2012, like when he feuded with Cena and all of a sudden nobody could take him down and he was just punching everybody. It kind of seems like, and I don't know if you would agree with this, Ibu, it kind of seems like he's unlocked some of that potential within him. And it's kind of like, and all it took was basically Adam Pearce disrespecting him and being like, yo, well, he was right. He was like, yo, why did Sheamus get a match after I beat him last week? What kind of shit is that? And he was like, hey, man, well, the match is already booked. He's like, all right, bet. I got some for that. And he basically showed him what he got for that. So, I'm really excited to see what they do with Bronson Reed from now on. Thank you for the super chat. Corey David, $2. I need Damian to be taken out and come back like the Undertaker. Oh no. Like he could do something similar where he could come back, but I don't think he needs to he shouldn't do Undertaker shit because nobody should do supernatural shit but the Undertaker. A close second will be Malachi Black or Aleister Black, but he's not here anymore. So that doesn't need to happen. Black Yakuza 94, $5. You got to do a SmackDown list. Oh shit! You got to do a SmackDown list now. Ibu, rate Roman and Cody right now. I dare you.
Okay. Y'all gonna be real mad at me. Cody is number 1. Y'all love the aura and the presence of Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns has the most aura of anybody in wrestling, undeniably. But Cody had him beat a year ago, and needed interference. Cody had him beat this year and then ultimately did beat him. It's very clear that in a straight up 1v1, Cody can beat Roman Reigns. Cody's number 1. Roman Reigns is number 2. Right underneath him. Number 3 on Raw, Randy Orton. Number 4, I'm going to take a gamble, Rob, and I'm going to say Jacob Fatu.
I personally would put Jacob over Randy right now. And I know Randy has a world title match, but every time them two niggas touch, who always comes out on top? No Diddy.
I think no interference. If there was a Randy Orton Jacob match, he'd find a way to win. I think he'd be able to beat him, but it would be like a fight to the death. I think. Either way, I'm going Jacob 4. I think there's a gap after that.
Bro.
Kevin Owens, 5.
Yes.
LA Knight,
6.
Solo. Then Andrade.
Okay. I know because that makes sense.
Cody,
Solo was just in the main event.
Yeah. Cody, Roman, Randy, Jacob. What did I say? Kevin.
Oh shit! Where's AJ?
Oh fuck!
I put AJ over Andrade.
AJ would be under Jacob, number 5.
Okay.
So yeah, I feel good about that list.
I would switch Cody and Roman, to be quite honest. And I know, yeah, Cody had him beat, and Cody beat him, but like, brother, that or if they stand in the ring face to face by themselves again, it's just not gonna look good for Cody. My top vernacular 199. My top 5 is Punk, and Punk.
Facts.
Oh well, you know he's top 15, top 20. You know,
facts.
Top 30. I think it was Raheem Mathani 499. Is there any reason why Dragon Lee isn't used? Does he have backstage heat?
No, he doesn't have backstage heat. Usually, I can tell you that he's not even at TV lately. Like usually, whether he's used on Raw or not, he's at TV. And if you notice, they'll have him in a backstage interview, like standing next to Rey Mysterio and Zelina, or he'll do main event, or he'll run in for something. He hasn't even been at TV, and Rey hasn't been at TV. I know that coming out of the Mexico house show, that they got the Monday off. And like I said last week, there was a speculation that he's on paternity leave, and I wasn't able to get that confirmed by WWE. I asked, they didn't answer me. So I don't know exactly what's going on with Dragon Lee, but I suspect there's something. I don't know if it's negative, but I suspect there's something, because even if he wasn't used, he would still travel to TV because he's supposed to, and he hasn't been coming to TV. So that means that like he's on a vacation, he's injured. Maybe it's the paternity leave thing or something. So one of those things has to be in play, because again, like he would at least be traveling to TV, which he had not been doing in the last coming out of the Mexico show. Before, he was at least at TV, and they would tell him at TV what he was doing.
Yeah, I really want Dragon Lee to be involved with all this. I don't like the fact that there was a great episode of Monday Night Raw and he just wasn't involved. And I know that's like not his fault or anything, and I just know like there's certain things, but like, bro, I want to have great episodes of Raw
with him in
Dragon Lee. Yeah, like, and Dragon Lee is a part of the reason why. I don't want it to be a, oh shit, Dragon Lee here, Raw is pretty bad. Dragon Lee's not here, Raw is pretty good. Thank you for the super chat. Corey David, $2. How valued would Sol Ruka be if she's a free agent?
AEW would absolutely chase after her.
She would absolutely go to Ring of Honor in 10 minutes.
I mean, I don't know what she would decide to do. I'm just saying that AEW would obviously want to have her. The whole industry has their eyes on Sol Ruka. Bro,
I could tell, like, she kind of got some buzz, and they would go after her. With the second she did that 450 clothesline, I knew it was a wrap. That's a star. Thank you for the super chat. Honest Sultan 199. I hate Dom. I'm literally so much better. I'm good. Y'all so much. Y'all so fucking mad, bro. Them forearm strikes, by the way.
Yo,
Pretty fucking
Adam Pearce crashed out, and he's explaining on Twitter because people are asking, why didn't you stop the Bronson Reed attack? This nigga made 4 straight paragraph tweets explaining the logic of why he would not be able to be in the building. If you want to go seek that out yourself. He broke down in real time. Where he was located and why he wouldn't be able to stop Reed.
I mean, yeah, bro. People are nitpicking. I don't agree with everything Adam Pearce says, but people are kind of nitpicking it, bro.
Yeah, no, I get. He's basically explaining that like he had to follow Punk when he was chasing Drew. So,
like they were interacting with each other after the fact. So, Adi, 100 rupees. Cena Avalanche FUing Gunther after getting destroyed and bloodied by Gunther in a Mania main event to win number 17. Chills. Oh my god.
I think John Cena is totally washed, and yet I do think Gunther and him would have a great match because Gunther is a master, and I think that would be dramatic and like emotional.
Cena is washed. I'll agree, but I don't think he's like completely finished. I just think he's like not trying anymore because he's an actor. So like
it's hard
really
to
taking
it's hard to
bumps.
tell because he was working with like Solo and Jimmy, you know, so it's kind of hard to it's hard to gauge where exactly he's at. You know what I mean?
You could tell he did not give a fuck about that theory match. He was just doing it because Vince asked him to.
Right.
Yeah. So thank you for the super chat, Austin Kinkle, $2. Sonya got an EO match to have boring chants. Yeah.
Sonya Deville had like one of the worst performances of her career. She was never like a particularly good wrestler, but like she's usually like just like regular kind of bad rather than like a disaster. And she was a disaster yesterday.
Bro, and that's the thing, bro. Fucking y'all got on my ass last week, 2 weeks ago when I said Sonya kind of bad, but then she's been proven to you in the last 2 weeks of television why she's kind of bad. So, Adi,
someone asked Dave Meltzer who was the Booker of the Year, and he gave his answer. And
who was it?
I wonder if anyone's upset about this. He said that Triple H is his Booker of the Year personally.
I'm not gonna say whether I agree or disagree because I don't.
What else? Here's what I'll say about Booker of the Year. I was at the 1 yard line of disqualifying this nigga Triple H a week ago, and I was like, "You were on the thinnest of ice, bald man." And then SummerSlam, he booked the results that I wanted to see, and then Raw was good. So he's back in the running. I still got my eyes on you, bald man. But
Triple H definitely had to do something with that Monday Night Raw, 100%.
Yeah, he had to. That it was about the ground was about to collapse from underneath him, in my opinion, when it came to just like the direction of the.
He 100% had everything to do with that Monday Night Raw.
100%. Yeah.
Adi said it wasn't a question. They just wanted Ibu thoughts on Big Dom's forearm strikes during that JD beatdown.
They rocked.
Yo, he was like, I heard some slapping, brother. I was like, yo, what the fuck? Like, hey, man, we might be getting there. Night 122, 199. What's the Berlin card looking like right now as we speak?
I think you're going to get a big Damage Control versus Sonya and Friends tag.
Yes.
Maybe it's a Plunder big arena brawl type match.
It should be because I don't want to see Sonya Deville wrestling anymore. Try to wrestle.
You may get a mixed tag. Dom and Liv versus Rhea and Priest. I'm going to list you the matches that are possible, and 1 to 2 of these will not make the cut and likely be on TV because that's what Triple H books. If you notice, he builds about 7 matches every pay-per-view cycle, and then 5 of them make the pay-per-view. If you notice, so I'm gonna list you the matches, right? So there's the Damage Control versus female Shield match. There's the mixed tag. There's Braun Breaker versus Ilya Dragunov. There is Sami Zayn and Jey Uso versus JD McDonough and Finn Balor for the tag titles that you could do. What am I forgetting? Pete Dunne versus Sheamus. Gunther Randy's already confirmed. And then on the other side, LA Knight is going to be feuding with and facing Andrade coming up soon. He's going to be now, again, these are just matches that are all on like because WWE, the way they book creatively, they usually have like an end point. Like they'll kind of like highlight like a set of matches, right? And like I said, 75% of them are the ones that they select for pay-per-view. Sometimes they don't even decide yet which ones are going to make the pay-per-view until like, the time comes. But yes, these are all the upcoming matches. Andrade and LA Knight. What's it called? Roman Reigns. I'm telling you, Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes, I'm pretty sure we're going to face Jacob and Solo. So we'll see what happens there. And then as for the direction of Nia Jax, I guess we'll find out soon.
You need some help, little bro? Huh, Cody? You need some help? You need your older brother? No, I understand.
AJ Styles is coming back this week. So we'll see.
That should be great.
I want to see him fight Andrade.
He should have a match. He should literally wrestle this Friday. Broadway Joe, $5. I just don't believe WWE paid more for Lucha Bros than Tony. Plus, we know WWE can cut you at any point. Where's the security?
I can't speak for these guys. I don't know what's their motivation. I don't know.
Well, WWE doesn't really cut people that they know are going to go to AEW. Like, they don't really do that. They cut Ziggler and like shit because they didn't really know if they were, and they didn't really care if they went to AEW. So, I don't really see them cutting anybody.
Fightful added that some people in NXT backstage claim that Josh Alexander can appear as soon as tonight.
He should screw Joe Hendry. So I can laugh at Joe Hendry losing to Joe Coffey. Dame 199. Sonya made my goat get this is boring chance.
Unfortunate.
Monty said Ibu's lying. He knows everything.
Here and there. I've kayfabed you guys. Like, I don't kayfabe you guys that much. Sometimes I have to because black SUVs,
Yo, we thought the black SUVs got you when you dipped out. It was crazy.
Oh, you talking about right now? Like earlier today?
No, earlier when you got that call.
I did get a call. That was a black SUV. Yeah, that was a black SUV. Yeah, it was. It was.
Mid take 0. $9.99. Gunther and Randy have my 18th favorite match of the year, and I think they are capable of having much more. I also thought Nia versus Bailey was legit amazing, 4 1/4. What does Ilya do at Bash?
I like Nia Bailey more than most people. I wouldn't say it was amazing, but I like the work in that match. Yeah. Ilya's probably going to face Braun Breaker at Bash Berlin, and I don't know if this is a hot take, Rob, because I was off Twitter when this match happened. But I thought Randy and Gunther, I thought a lot of that match was phenomenal. Like just the pace and the way they were working was so classical.
Amazing. The arm work.
Loud. Yeah, I just thought it was so fucking good, and it just stood out because it felt like a match out of 1985. And I think they're gonna top it in Berlin. I think Gunther and Randy may have the WWE match of the year on that show. So we'll see how it goes.
We'll see how that goes. Jack, €5. Will the Lucha Bros government names be made public if they sign with WWE? Wikipedia has their names only.
Probably.
The rest of the names only.
Yeah, probably.
I don't. Maybe. It depends on what Conan. Because remember, Conan owns their shit, but I know they're trademarking new names right now. So
yeah.
We'll see. Corey David, $2. What's Sheamus' contract looking like? We need an IC title run.
He has a few. It's ending relatively soon.
He did get injury time tacked on.
He did.
That was happen because they always do that.
It should be ending in the fall though. So we'll see what happens. His only goal when he came back because he at one point he kind of was just his mindset was I want to leave. Now his mindset is I'm just gonna have fun and we'll figure it out. So
yeah, bro, it looks like he's genuinely having fun. I don't think he's thinking about where he's gonna go.
He was not having fun. I'll tell you this: 2023 on SmackDown after WrestleMania, he was miserable. Do you remember that stretch when he was tagging with Ridge Holland and they were just working Pretty Deadly every week?
Bro, and then he went on that fucking podcast and he was like, "Yo, that y'all know that 45-minute segment that just
Yeah,
take place,
yeah,
right?"
yeah. He was miserable. He was really, really miserable last year. Yeah,
He was like, "Bro, now we got 5 minutes to fucking wrestle because of these Samoan niggas, and I'm
yeah,
tired."
yeah.
Athena, Jumanji hundred to $2. Athena to WWE after her contract ends. No AEW time.
I have no clue what's gonna happen with Athena.
I think Athena's
I have
just.
no fucking clue.
I don't really know. She's beaten literally everybody there is to beat on Ring of Honor.
I don't know why she's still in ROH personally. I
That
thought she
ass.
came up a year. I thought she just lose to Billy Starks last year and get up, or whatever, or Willow, or whoever it was going to be.
I
I
think
don't
she's
really
gonna.
understand why she's still down.
I think she's gonna start 2025 in AEW because they're kind of building. I don't know. You don't watch Ring of Honor, but they're still kind of like planting kind of seeds and rebuilding to Billy beating Athena at Final Battle. So
I
I
think
think,
I just want to see her wrestle Mercedes, bro.
yeah, bro. By that should be the match at Double or Nothing, bro.
Her Ring of Honor run had really high highs, but I thought it peaked months ago. I think now it's just kind of continuing.
I thought she was gonna lose to Queen Amanada, and then she didn't.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Weird.
I'm ready to move on.
Definitely. Kale, 50 Mexican pesos. Genuinely kind of upset at myself for how angry I got at EO slowing down that much and having a stinker with the run she was having. Sonya Deville.
What I would say is I rewatched it, and as bad as Sonya was, and it was bad enough to make the match bad, but it's at the same time, Io herself still looked good in a bad match. If that makes any sense.
Right.
So there you go. But yeah, that wasn't good. It was a disaster.
Mad, like we can't be doing that shit on
Yeah.
primetime TV, bro.
Thankfully, next week it's Shayna and Zoe who are competent wrestlers, and all you need to do with Io is give her someone competent. Like literally, just give her someone competent, and she'll cook.
Yeah. Mid take 0, $4.99. I have a feeling I'm gonna give Dunn versus Sheamus 5 stars.
I think they're gonna have an amazing match, to be honest with you.
Yeah, especially since they're in Europe, they're gonna go fucking insane. They're just gonna start beating the shit out of each other. It's gonna be tremendous. Bro, $4.99. Ethan Page versus Josh Alexander and NXT not fired, y'all. Them niggas do not like each other. I don't know if y'all knew that or not. But them niggas do not.
I have no clue what the interpersonal relationships are between Ethan Page and Josh Alexander, but no, that matchup is not fire to me.
That matchup is not fire. Them niggas do not like each other. Somebody put out a tweet like a couple months ago being like, he's burned bridges everywhere. Why y'all? And I was like, and I was thinking about it, and then I went to go check Josh Alexander's page when he won the NXT title, and that nigga did not say a word. So that let me know.
Wow. Yeah, that probably is a giveaway.
That let me know them niggas do not fuck with each other like that. Thank you for the super chat. Dano, $4.99. TK, you have the Lucha Bros for another month. Announce that tag team C2. But like, who would be in it?
Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, I don't know, man.
Who would be in it? The Gun Club, MXM, Roddy and Kyle should be a tag team right now, but he's in a conglomeration and they keep beating each other up every week. And Roddy keeps losing. So I don't know. Thank you for the super chat, Raheem Mathani. $1.99. How's Pac's contract like?
I have no clue. I think a lot of extra time has been tacked on.
I don't think Pac is ever going back to WWE, bro. They never let him go home. They never let him go home.
He does like to go home. He really enjoys going home. So
like,
I don't know. I really don't know.
All right, and that is the end of the super chats.
You guys are awesome. You guys are just awesome today. Firing
hours worth of super chats.
Yeah, fucking insane. Literally like an hour and 20 minutes. But it was good discussion, and a lot of it was pertinent and related discussion to the topic. So I do appreciate you guys. I have no problem engaging with you guys and answering any questions that I can. And if it means I add extra time to the Raw review, then that's fine. So this is a big show. This is a really big show. And it's why we have all this extra interest. We have 243 people in this live chat. I appreciate all of you guys. If you have not already, please like the video. It helps our visibility. It helps the podcast grow. It helps us have more tools to be able to provide you guys with even better content. So really thank you guys. Really appreciate it. Please like the video. But with that said, Rob, I'd imagine you have a question to ask me, sir.
Yes. Where was Monday Night Raw last night?
Raw was in the CFG Bank Arena in Baltimore, Maryland. And we opened up, Rob, and there was a SummerSlam video recapping the Raw brand matches, namely Liv Morgan and Dominic and, all that stuff and just all the big happenings from SummerSlam. We opened Raw, and Liv Morgan and Dom were shown arriving happily together, and Damian Priest, Braun Breaker, and Drew McIntyre were all also shown walking in. Michael Cole announced a sellout crowd of 11,832 fans in this venue, and the first hour of Raw was commercial free, which boded well for some of the wrestling on that first hour. So we open up, Rob, and we see Ludwig Kaiser for the first time in around a month or so, and he was on point here. He grabs the mic and he introduces. He's like, "Ladies and gentlemen," he's just like, "Your new world heavyweight champion, the ring." He does a whole introduction for Gunther, and Gunther comes out looking spiffy in a nice suit, got the world title on his shoulders, and he's just looking clean, man. I don't know if you got the pictures up on deck or from the WWE site, but Gunther's looking like a goddamn champion, Rob.
Look at my nigga, bro.
That's my champion. That's my world champion.
No leather jackets.
Nope. He's suited and booted, Rob. Gunther's walking in with the World Heavyweight Championship. And the fireworks are going off as he's holding the belt. There's a guy with a giant one-piece flag right behind Gunther in the hard cam side, which was sick. And he holds up his championship. He gets a mixed response. Some people are chanting, "You deserve it." Gunther says, "My name is Gunther. I am the ring general. I am the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion in history. I am the king of the ring. And now I am your World Heavyweight Champion." Crowd boos. Gunther continued by saying, "If you thought my Intercontinental title reign was historic, just watch what I do as World Heavyweight Champion." He says that he was above everybody in the ring and that nothing could catch him off guard because his greatness was personified. From this day forth, Monday Night Raw and the legacy of this sport and the world title belonged to him. Cue Randy Orton's theme song, and the crowd loses their fucking minds. Holy shit, Randy Orton is here. And Orton shows up, loud pop. Gunther admitted, "Okay, I was wrong because you did catch me off guard." And Orton admitted that the title did look mighty fine on Gunther's shoulders. But he did remark that Orton said that the only reason Gunther was holding the championship in the first place was because, quote, "You beat me at King of the Ring, but did you really beat me at King of the Ring?" The crowd says no. Orton reminds everybody that his shoulders were up on the pinfall. And Orton said that he's been here long enough to know that referee's decision was final. But Triple H knew that there should be a sequel, and Orton was calling in his shot now. This is referring to remarks Triple H made after the match where he said, "Look, referee's decision is final. Gunther's the king of the ring, but clearly that was a controversial finish. Clearly Randy Orton was not pinned, so we're going to have to see the match again." And Randy Orton's like, "Yeah, let's do it now." Orton said that he was the only one in the locker room that could match him. It was technician versus technician, smooth versus smoother, and that the fans deserved a modern-day Flair versus Steamboat. Really interesting comparison there. I think he's in the right direction when it comes to just classical 80s American wrestling. This is closer to like AWA to me.
This is. I get what you're going for, but this is not.
This is like Jumbo Tsuruta versus Nick Bockwinkel. You know what I mean? This is Hennig Bockwinkel. This is, like I said, this is like is this something you see from like Jumbo? So yeah, that's where my mind goes when I think of like Randy Orton and Gunther and the style of wrestling that they're going to produce together based on prior evidence. Randy said that Gunther considered himself a living legend, and that was perfect because he made a career out of killing legends. Gunther smirks. Orton said he planned on walking out of Gunther's home country as a world champion, and the crowd chants for Randy Orton. Gunther admitted that not beating Orton clean at King of the Ring left a stain on his record. The voices in his head, in Orton's head, are wrong if they're telling him that he could beat him in Berlin. Gunther says, "I accept your challenge." They shook hands. Gunther pulls him in close and tells him, "Nothing catches me out of nowhere." And Orton said, "That's fine, because I want you to see it coming." And he walks out.
To see me RKO you, nigga.
Yep.
Fantastic.
Rob, this is the wrestling I want to watch.
Definitely. Like this is exactly what we should be getting with World Heavyweight Championship feuds. Guys coming out there and basically just being like, yo, I want to prove that I'm the best. It shouldn't be all this other, it doesn't have to be all this this multi-layered thing, bro. It could sometimes just be this. Like I think Chris tweeted this out earlier today. Sometimes you could just have two niggas go out there and be athletes, bro.
These are two of the top athletes in the sport. Gunther's holding the richest prize in the sport. Gunther believes and perceives himself to be the top of his profession, but he can't say that definitively until he beats Randy Orton because they had a controversial result to their last match. And so they're saying that here. And they shook on it like men, and Randy told him, I'm going to get you. And Gunther's like, no, you're not. That's professional wrestling. That's adult content. That's grown man shit. It's treated like a sport. It's treated with reverence and seriousness. And this is what I want to see from my wrestling program. This is the type of way you should open Monday Night Raw. And if Monday Night Raw's identity is going to go towards more so Gunther's style of doing things, that will only make the show a better show. This was a great opening segment.
Definitely. And we should get a Randy versus Ludwig Kaiser match. Like,
that's gonna be so fucking good. Randy and
speaking of good matches with fucking Ludwig Kaiser.
Randy and Ludwig sounds like a sexy 12 minutes on TV.
Bro, especially with the shit he was doing last night.
Yeah, Ludwig Kaiser's locked in. Sheamus did a quick interview with Jackie Redmond. He said he knew that guys like Kaiser and Pete Dunne were just trying to make a name for themselves at his expense, but he told him to bring it on. Sheamus kind of feels like he's developed a bit of a rogues gallery for himself. He has a whole set of Sheamus villains in the Sheamus verse. Bronson, Ludwig Kaiser, Pete Dunne. There's a bunch of Sheamus verse bad guys.
It's just like a bunch of guys that really want to beat up Sheamus for whatever reason.
He's the ultimate upper mid-carder, man. He just has awesome matches with these other mid-carders, and they just beat the shit out of each other. And Sheamus is the old dog, but he's still in the fight, and he's still that guy.
And it helps because a lot of people forget Sheamus is a former world champion too. So
he has credibility. So Sheamus went on to face Ludwig Kaiser, Rob, and this match had no commercial breaks. So you got wall-to-wall awesome action, and the crowd was losing their fucking minds. This was just beautiful, Rob. They just beat the shit out of each other. Elbows, slaps, chops, beats to the bowdrin, shots to the chest, kicking, thigh kicks, slapping. We saw some boogers in there because it's just men snarling and grunting at each other. They're just sweating and bruising up and snorting and snarling. This is the wrestling I want to watch. They beat the fuck out of each other. And Kaiser thinks he's surpassed Sheamus. And Sheamus is like, no, little nigga. No, you have not. You're not better than me. I can still beat the fuck out of you. And anything you throw at me, I'm going to break out of that shit and show you I'm still a tougher son of a bitch than you. And that's what he showed. That was the story of the match. Kaiser's mocking him. Kaiser's trying to, get in his head. He's trying to be physical with him. And Sheamus is like, bring it on, bitch. That's nothing. Them kicks are nothing.
I went to war with Gunther in the middle of Cardiff, nigga.
Literally, hit me again, nigga. Boom, that's nothing. Boom,
I went to war with Big Show, nigga.
This shit right here, nigga. This shit right here. This is nothing. Hit me again. Boom, that's nothing, nigga. Boom, that's nothing. And he starts wailing back at him. He's firing up, and the crowd is losing their shit. Lariats, elbows, forearms, slaps, chops. He gets him with a white noise. He gets him with some knees. Pete Dunne gets involved. Sheamus is like, sit the fuck down, nigga. High knee. Get out of my way. Gets back in the ring. Gets hit with an enziguri. Kicked out. That's nothing. That's nothing to me. They go face to face, nose to nose, forehead to forehead.
This was so gas.
Slap. Forearm, elbow. Nothing. He breaks through. He hits the ropes. Kaiser goes for a lariat. He literally breaks out of his lariat as he's hitting the opposite end of the rope. Gets him with a clothesline. Gets him with another clothesline. And he ultimately gets him with a bro kick. And he gets the win. This was fucking awesome, bro.
He hit him with the clothesline and then put him on the apron and did another beat to the bowdrin. It was
Sheamus
crazy.
is a fucking warrior. And that's what I want to watch on my show, Rob. I want to see warriors, and I want to see wars, and I want to see battles with passion and hunger. And that's what you saw here. Kaiser wants to be at that next level so bad. You see it in how he performs, the promos, the presentation, his performances in the matches, his physicality. He wants to be at that next step. He wants to snatch somebody's chain. And Sheamus is at the top of this mid-card division, slapping him down and saying, you're not fucking ready yet because you're not better than me. You're not fucking better than me. And they beat the dog shit out of each other. And Sheamus came out on top because he's still Sheamus. He's still Sheamus, 45 years old, been doing this shit for 20 years, still kicking ass, still taking out these young men. And we're set. He beat Kaiser. It looks like he's going to face Pete Dunne next. This was awesome. And as a follow-up to the Gunther segment, this felt like just a 40-minute statement from WWE. And it's very clear to me what is the better version of WWE. And it's this shit. Am I biased? Yeah, I have my preferences. But I think it was on full display yesterday why I think this fucking works.
Yes.
Is Ibu chopping himself right now? Yes. I am shirtless and I'm slapping myself in the chest.
I tweeted this exact same thing. I said, I'm gripping it.
Josh Friesen in the chat said Ibu 100% stood up describing this right now. I have no shirt on. I'm flexing my muscles, you know? Hell yeah.
Bro, it was crazy. Like, that match was fucking crazy. And I like that WWE is going out of the direction of doing like supernatural, unrealistic storylines and going in the route of realistic storylines and realistic wrestling.
Yes,
with like
we can all understand this story, Rob. You're getting old.
You're getting older,
You're a
bro.
tough guy. You're a tough bastard. And people are trying to check you. They're trying to test your gangster. People go to that old man and they're like, man, you ain't shit. And Chambers is like, excuse me, motherfucker? Excuse? You must not know about me. I am still him. That's a real life story.
You know how many world titles I won, nigga?
That's what I'm saying. You get to a certain age and these young Thundercats try to check you and they try to test you, whether it be at your job, whether it be at, whatever you do, your neighbors, so on and so forth. And you know what you do? The innate pride sparks up within you to show, because nobody likes getting old. Nobody likes, being less than the best version of themselves. Sheamus is fighting his heart out to stay in the fight. Even if you look at the hourglass and there's more sand on one end than there is on the top end, you always fight it. You can't beat time, but you could fight time. And Sheamus is fighting against Father Time, and he's succeeding because ultimately his bones might be old, his muscles may have atrophied, he may be a little heavier than he used to be, but God damn it, you got to kill me to take me out of this fight. And that's what Sheamus showed last night. That's fucking pro wrestling right there. That's pro wrestling.
Right. Bro, and that's the thing. Like, this, along with the CM Punk Drew storylines, and along with because it's not, people are not really invested, but it's like a realistic storyline. A nigga leaves his old bitch that was like he didn't really like for the new bad bitch. Like, that happens. And it's just like there's these realistic storylines rather than the shit that we were getting 2, 3, 4 years ago. So this was great. I really enjoyed this, bro. It's like we need, like Ibu said, we need more of this on Monday Night Raw. Shit, can we get? I want to see what Dragon Lee versus Ludwig Kaiser would look like now.
It'd be fucking.
That's how impressed I am with Ludwig Kaiser.
Here's the thing: some people might be inclined to think Lee's a pussy and he can't get physical because he does lucha libre. Brother, if you've seen him wrestle Hiromu Takahashi, you know that he can get down and dirty and he can get physical.
Dragon Lee has an entire New Japan catalog that y'all can go find on Billy.
Where he's just where he's taking head bumps and beating the dog shit out of people.
He broke Hiromu's neck by accident, dropping him on the top of his head. Like, come on.
Yep.
All right.
Okay, so after this beautiful match, we got a video package for the Wyatt Six. And we tied back the lore, Rob, because 11 years ago, Eric Rowan and the departed Luke Harper and Bray Wyatt debuted in this exact venue in Baltimore. So we kind of got the juxtaposition of how they're the new version of those old Wyatts. They mentioned Roman Reigns' return for a second time and aired a few more clips from SummerSlam. We got a Damian Priest segment, and he marches out to the ring, and he calls out Finn Balor, and he was like, "Finn Balor, catch this meeting like a man." And the crowd was behind Priest. Priest said that Balor was not a prince; he was a backstabbing coward. The crowd was super into Damian, and Priest said that most of his life he was on his own until he found the Judgment Day. And he said that it was when he was in the Judgment Day that he felt like they were his new family. He was pissed that Balor took the title from him and from them. And Priest said he wouldn't let that stand, and he called Balor again. Balor appeared on the screen in a dark room. Balor said Priest brought this on himself. Balor said that he didn't betray him. Priest betrayed them. Judgment Day was not meant to have a leader, but everything changed when you won the world title. And Balor said, I almost became a champion a year ago against Seth Rollins at SummerSlam. And after he lost in the car, Priest told him to man up. He said, I waited a full year, and I did man up. I screwed you, and I screwed your family. Priest was now just a loser from the street. So Balor didn't plan on fighting him. JD's going to fight him because he earned it. And Balor said, I'm going to wait until you're comfortable, until you've almost forgotten about me. I'm going to wait till your back is turned, and I'm going to stab you in it again and again and again. And I'm not going to be alone. I'm going to be with my family. And the camera pans out, and it's Finn Balor, Carlito, JD McDonough, Dominic, and Liv Morgan. At this point, Damian Priest was livid, and he's like basically saying he's going to unleash hell on this guy. He's chasing after them. One thing that's worth noting is that Damian Priest was wildly over in this segment. The crowd was losing their mind watching him, and they're cheering for him. And as he's referring to the crowd as his family, like they're getting into that. He's very much leaning into the Puerto Rican from the street stuff now. He's less of like a gothic Latino man, and now more of like a, like he's very much leaning into like I'm a hard Puerto Rican from the streets of New York. And yeah, I thought this was an effective segment in the sense that Balor out of nowhere overnight feels like he has some juice again. And Damian Priest is clearly positioned as an upper tier babyface. My brother's in the background. I wonder, do you want to give a comment on this Damian Priest thing? What did you think of the segment? Give us a cameo. No, I already put the pressure on you. It's too late. I already said it. Go ahead. Give us your thoughts. This is Backup Hangman Jr. with his thoughts on the Damian Priest segment.
I thought it was a great segment. Damian continues to prove himself as a top babyface in WWE. I mean, not continues because this was very much him cementing himself as a babyface.
Right.
I mean, I guess you'll talk about it later, but I really like the dynamic he has with Rhea. I think it's a very unique dynamic having a top babyface man and woman at the top of Raw.
It's like brother sister.
Yeah, very familial brother sister sibling relationship. And I think that's just what the Judgment Day has been in terms of like fresh, unique dynamics. There hasn't really been a stable in WWE in my experience like the Judgment Day. And even though
the live chat is popping for you, someone said way better than Ibu.
I mean, I am, and I'm not a mark. Not a mark, but yeah, like, and even though the Judgment Day they're undergoing changes, now Liv is there. There's no Rhea and Damian, and those are two big stars, so they might be taking a big hit, but as long as they keep the dynamics unique and fresh, I think it's overall good, and I like what Damian is. I do think I spoke about this with my brother, but I think like his promos in terms of like the babyface, like trying to appeal to the audience, it needs to come off a bit more authentic for me, a bit more like I don't know how to say it, but it sounded like he was trying to appeal, trying to tap into that like I'm a street guy, and it didn't really sound too authentic to me.
You know what I compare it to? Somebody posted a clip of Triple H talking to John Cena during that one Raw segment. He was like, I knows we's in Boston. You be dropping your R's and stuff. That's what
it sounded like. He was trying to use like certain lingo, and it was just like it sounded super forced for me. Like I was talking about it with my brother. Like if you ever watch like we were talking about Creed. If you ever watched Creed 1, like
Tessa Thompson,
yeah, like Tessa Thompson in Creed 1 trying to say like John, like she's from Philly, and it just sounded so cringe. It's certain stuff like if you're not from certain areas, you won't really pay attention to, like, it won't really matter. But I don't know, it's just little things like that. But overall, I like Damian as a top babyface. He's proved a lot of people wrong, including my brother, who's been, in my opinion, a Damian dissenter.
I'm not a Damian dissenter.
Listen, I've been a Damian guy for many years since he debuted in NXT. I'm happy to see him thriving. And listen, man, I like what they're doing. I like what they're doing with Damian, but that's all I got.
Thank you, Backup Hangman Jr. That was
Thank you.
That was my brother with a lot of salient points about the segment. So give it up for him. Give it up. There you go.
I forget I have that.
Yeah, give it up for him. And I guess with that, Rob, what did you think? You have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, I just didn't like, because I was like, yo, I agree with your brother, because I was like sitting there listening to him. I was like, yo, you have not talked about like this for like 2 years. Like, where did this come from? Like, it dead ass sounded like the Triple H where he's like, I know you be dropping your R's and stuff, thugging. But like, and it's just like, but I think he'll need to improve on that. But other than that, everything about this segment I like Finn basically being like, well, guess what? Now I'm awake now, nigga, and it's about to be time. So
people in the chat saying Ibu's bidding war has been cooked because Monty found his replacement. Backup Junior. I've been telling everybody that I've been like trolling and saying like I'm gonna leave Wrestle Pierce and do a bidding war, make a Fightful and Observer try to pay me, and everybody's saying that's been thwarted now because Monty's just gonna go to you. So I don't know. What's up?
The amount of wrestling that the Wrestle Purist panel watches on a weekly basis. Listen, I commend you guys. I can't watch that much wrestling. Listen, I'll just be the Fed drone. I'll watch Raw, SmackDown, NXT here and there, but the amount of wrestling this guy watches, I just can't do that. I'm sorry. Not to mention,
it's crazy.
Not to mention having to interact with the
wrestling Twitter,
the dregs of society that wrestling Twitter can be. I'm sorry.
Oh my god, yo, people like attacking him over like the dumbest opinion. Basically, him being like, "Yo, which people don't know this because I didn't tweet it out, but I like the CM Punk match from Saturday too.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was great like Ibu did, but I give it like a 3.5. Ibu gave it a 4.25, but I thought it was like fine. Like I was like, yo, this is a fine match. And then everybody was like, oh, fucking Ibu. I can't keep Punk's cock out of his mouth.
He is a bit of a punk mark, I'll be honest. But listen, the way I consume wrestling these days compared to like say 5 years ago, I'm very just like it is what it is. Like I like letting things play out long term. Maybe it's because listen, if there are any One Piece fans in the chat, if you read any weekly manga, shonen manga, like you can't be that reactionary person that's just reacting week to week to every little development. Like you just gotta let things play out. And the way I see the Punk Drew thing, was it a fucking 5 out of 5-star match? No, not by any means. But for me, it's clear like this is gonna be like a 3-part match. They're gonna do a Hell in a Cell at Bad Blood, and everybody's gonna be satisfied at the end of the day. So just have some long-term vision, and everything's gonna be all right.
I think so. I actually agree with you. While also acknowledging that I get why people didn't like it, you know. So there you go. Another interlude from Backup Junior. He's this chat is killing me. Backup Junior's over. Give him the whole check. There you go. Good stuff. Rob, after this, things got real good. Bronson Reed was confronted by Adam Pearce. He was annoyed he didn't have a match tonight after beating Sheamus last week. Pearce tried to reason with him, but Reed said he knew now that he'd have to create his own path if he wanted to get to the top. So people are waking up, Rob, and they're realizing that Adam Pearce does nothing for you. It's like it's I was about to make a joke. People are going to take it. I was going to say it's like black people realizing that the woke left won't save them. But, in all seriousness, Reed decides I'm going to make my own opportunity. So keep that in mind. That's going to pay off very, very, very soon in a big way. Lyra faced Shayna Baszler. They just kind of kicked each other and did some like MMA type stuff, and then they went to a DQ. Not much to say here. I like Lyra. I think a lot of Diva stands are really hard on her for some reason. Shayna Baszler is awesome. And yeah, not much to say here. The big thing was the match went to a DQ. The other women started jumping Lyra, and Damage Control ran out for the big save. Very similar to the angle the week before, but they did it again, and the crowd was way more into it tonight because Baltimore was a better crowd. And yeah, they chased him off. Kyrie went sprinting to the ring. She blitzed her way into the fucking ring. And yeah, they chased off the heels, saved Lyra, and we were reminded that on this night we were going to get Sonya Deville versus Dakota Kai. So that was that. Yeah, we got a pre-tape from Karrion Kross in the Final Testament about Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston. He claimed that we would witness the death of the New Day tonight. We then saw CM Punk walking backstage, and we found out that he was up next. Went to the commercial break for the first time at 8:56, and at the top of the second hour, 9 p.m., we saw Ivy Nile backstage with the Creed brothers. We haven't seen
we
Ivy.
did not see CM Punk. Let me go back.
Sorry, yeah, Ivy Nile and the Creeds. We hadn't seen Ivy Nile in weeks, and it was a question. We brought this up, like, what's Ivy gonna do? Because the Creeds are now heels and they're with Chad, but Ivy's a babyface, and she's friends with Maxine. So what's gonna happen here? So she met with the Creeds, and she asked them to leave when Maxine Dupree showed up. And Dupree wondered why she hadn't heard from them and said the Creeds had been attacking Otis and Tozawa for weeks. Niall tried to reason with her by saying that the Creeds have a switch that just goes off sometimes. And Chad Gable appears, and he told Dupree to get out of there. And he said, look, you guys can keep the Alpha Academy name. Gable said that he and the Creeds would beat the Wyatt Six tonight. CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Drew McIntyre. This was fucking good, Rob. CM Punk got out to a big ovation. Punk congratulated Bilal Muhammad on his win in the UFC. Punk said he likes seeing good things happen to good people. Punk said that he was in a good mood despite what happened at SummerSlam. He was in Baltimore for the first time in 10 years, and he just couldn't help but feel good. He heard the fans chanting his name. He said that losing didn't make him happy at SummerSlam, but it wasn't a guarantee for him, and neither was Raw in Baltimore. He said that he figured that many people loved him because he doesn't stay down, but that there were some in the company who hated that he didn't stay down. And just when he had his monumental return, it was all taken away from him after the Royal Rumble. But he was in a good mood because he was told he would recover in 9 months, and he did it in 5. Drew McIntyre hurt him, and that happens, but he gloated about it and made it personal. Punk was happy to be back because for some people, their road to WrestleMania begins in January, but not him. His summer of hate didn't start the way he wanted, but he noted to the fans, it's still summer. The fans deserved less CM Punk talking and more CM Punk fighting. Crowd goes nuts for this line. Punk said, I want Drew McIntyre again. McIntyre claimed he wouldn't stop until my heart stopped. And he said, well, look, my heart is still beating and the blood is still pumping. We get Seth Rollins' theme. Punk goes, son of a... during this,
he's like, yeah, I love that bit. Whenever Seth, he's like, oh, fuck him, brother.
Oh, brother. Yeah. So at that point, I gotta stop here. No, you don't have to speak. Someone said in the chat that I need to take a cue from Biden and step down. That's funny. That's funny. So Seth Rollins interrupts. And he wore all black, and he had like a Hangman Page style outfit. Stern demeanor. This is the first time we've seen Seth serious in a month. He was staring a hole through CM Punk, and Rollins removes his shades and his jacket. And Rollins said that, yeah, we're both in a good mood because after 10 long years, it was finally time to put your ass in the dirt. And then Punk calls him in the ring, and Seth's like, you're going to let me in or what? Or whatever. So they're ready to fight, right? And then Drew McIntyre's in the crowd. He gloats about his win over CM Punk with Rollins counting the fall. McIntyre said that Punk proved he still had it in the ring, but you're no longer the best in the world. I am. McIntyre shows the bracelet and said that he still had Punk's stupid-looking dog, Larry, and his lovely wife, AJ, at his side. Punk was pissed off, and he sprints over through the crowd after McIntyre. So Punk is chasing after Drew. Seth is in the ring. Seth is trying to figure out what's going on. And out of nowhere, Bronson Reed just attacks him. Boom, hits him. And Rollins is fighting back, and Reed's trying to lift him. Seth is punching him, he's punching him. Super kick, right? He's going for another one, and then boom, he gets picked up. Death Valley driver. bam, a gorgeous Death Valley driver, nails him, and then he goes onto the top, tsunami. Crowd is booing. Tsunami. More heat. Tsunami. Officials start to run out. Stop it, Bronson. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. He's beating his chest. Crowd is going crazy. They're calling him the headhunter on commentary. They're calling him a menace, a monster. Seth is choking. He's choking. He's grabbing his stomach. Tsunami. The referees are like, stop it. They're urging with him, please stop. He's walking away. He gets back in the ring. Tsunami. Seth is dying. They're pulling him out of the way. He goes to the other side. He gets to the top. Tsunami. Beats his chest. He's King Kong. He's Godzilla. Bronson Reed has arrived. He broke through the ceiling and he attacked Seth Rollins. And by the end of the angle, Rob, they're chanting Bronson Reed. They're chanting one more time, which is obviously a byproduct of modern wrestling psychology. But nevertheless, the crowd was super into this angle, going crazy, right? And by the end of it, it was like, holy fucking shit. At first, I could see many people going like, oh my God, Bronson Reed and Seth Rollins. That's what a fucking letdown, right? But by the end of it was like, holy shit, this guy's not playing. Because he wasn't. He told Pierce, man, I'm not relying on you no more, brother. Like, I'm going to make my own shit. And when you think about it, Rob, as weekly viewers, as guys who've been reviewing Raw every week, we've seen the progression slowly up the card. He's been chipping away at this and chipping away at this and chipping away at this and getting better and getting bigger and getting slightly more over and just slightly more impactful. And by the time he got to this angle, he's never done a tsunami spam angle. He's done one. And it's been a protected finisher. You do one tsunami, you win. He does 6 to Seth Rollins, and he's coughing up blood. This was like one of the best angles of the year. And I thought an instant elevation of Bronson Reed in the sense that I don't think he's going to win the World Heavyweight Championship next week, but he's in the mix now. He's in the mix now. And I love this angle for that reason. I love that they were driven. There was conviction behind the booking to cement another guy as a credible top-level player. And the other good thing about it, Rob, is as we talked about last week, I was saying how, like, I want Seth and Drew and Punk to get out of their three-way universe where they don't interact with the rest of the roster. Let's start to see Seth Rollins wrestling on the show again. Let's kind of release them all back into the wild and interacting with the rest of the Monday Night Raw roster. And you're getting it now because Seth Rollins, yes, we know that the destination is CM Punk, but the way Triple H books, he taped ribs, super Seth is coming back. Yeah. The way Triple H books, he has like certain big things earmarked for certain points in the year. And we know Punk and Seth is the big one for Punk later. But in the meantime, you got to give people side quests. And I'll tell you what, this is a hell of a side quest. This is going to get Bronson more over. It's going to help him. And I love this.
Beast.
I thought he came off like a beast here. And he's somebody that has struggled to come off menacing to me. Because, like, yes. I remember when I used to see Bronson, I'd be like, man, he's like the opposite of Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe walks out there, you know, with his shoulders swiveling and stuff. He looked like a bad guy. You know what I mean? He has the commanding voice. Bronson Reed didn't have the voice. He didn't have that just apparent menace coming off of him. He wrestles in a match. He doesn't come off mean and nasty. He just came off like a fat guy, you know. But now here, at least the way they laid out this angle, he felt like a fucking monster.
Right.
And he destroyed this guy. So this is what you needed to see. And ironically, Rob, he posted a picture last week. It's the Wolverine picture meme. And the picture was him in New Japan. And interestingly enough, he did this very angle where he did multiple tsunamis in his New Japan Strong debut. When he debuted in New Japan Strong, he kills the jobber with a tsunami. And then he does like 4 more. And Kevin Kelly was just like, oh, God damn it, stop it. Stop.
He did this to Josh when he went to Impact.
Right.
He hit him with like 8 sentons and they hit him with a tsunami and Josh is bleeding out of his nose and his mouth.
Right. It's clearly an effective tool to get him over. And so they did it in WWE. And what do you know? This is his best night in the company. NXT or Raw or SmackDown. So I thought this was great. What did you think, Rob? I
thought this was tremendous. As I tweeted out, Bronson Reed good. I'm now a Bronson Reed guy.
Yeah.
Like this, and Ibu's been like kind of like talking to me about it for like the last few weeks. He's like, yo, man, Bronson's been kind of good. And I was like, oh, I don't know. But like this side of Bronson Reed is, if he wants to be believed as a believable like a heel that's like a monster, this is what we should see out of it. We should see him trying to kill guys with multiple tsunamis. We should see him being actually frustrated and being really upset. There was no reason, even though it was a great match, why he beat Sheamus last week and he didn't have a match scheduled for the night. And that was a great story that they told. And I'm very excited to see what they do with Bronson Reed in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. And on the Punk side of things, I just thought the vibe of this was better than the recent weeks because, I love CM Punk and I've loved the Drew McIntyre feud. I thought it peaked like a month earlier than the match, and I thought like the last few segments were just kind of like weird a little bit. And Punk wasn't super likable in some of the last ones. I thought here he came off like a straight up babyface and really easy to root for, and the fans were behind him. And I thought it was like his best babyface promo since the one after the Rumble when he cut a promo about his injury. So this was a hell of a piece of business. We follow this up, Rob, with the Authors of Pain versus the New Day, and Kofi and Xavier Woods. They were just like the Ninja Turtles. They went out there. Not too much to this match. Xavier Woods had a great hot tag. The New Day are doing their thing. I mean, they're one of the great teams in WWE history. They're going back and forth here. Ultimately, Karrion Kross tries to get involved, and coming out of nowhere, sprinting down the ring in a New Day shirt is Odyssey Jones. Odyssey Jones beats up Karrion Kross. He creates a distraction on the outside. It allows Xavier Woods to roll up one of the AOP members. It was Razor. And then the bell rings. Akam comes in the ring, and they're ganging up on Xavier Woods. And out comes Odyssey Jones to fight them off. And another angle where you got a guy over in one night. This is Odyssey Jones's first appearance on the main roster ever on live TV. And Jones had been called up a year ago, and he was in NXT. And so he came here. The crowd doesn't really know him like that, but he kind of he did a black hole slam to Karrion Kross, and he did a double sidewalk slam on the AOP, which is an unbelievable strength feat.
Bro, because them niggas are not small at all.
No, they are not. Doing one sidewalk slam to one of them is impressive. He did it to two at the same time. I don't know if that's humanly possible, but he pulled it off. And listen, at the end of the day, wrestling is a simple sport. If you see a guy kicking ass like that, you're going to like him. And that formula would work later on as well with Damian Priest. People like to see ass kickers. It's why Braun Breaker's over. It's why Bronson Reed got over in an angle. It's why Odyssey Jones got over here. And I got to say, I thought this was a good angle. And Xavier Woods looked a little confused, and Kofi Kingston was like all excited to see this guy. And Xavier was kind of like, all right, it's interesting. Okay, thank you. Thanks for the help. So that's kind of my 2 cents on that. What did you think, Rob?
Yeah, I thought this was awesome. I thought like this is what we should do. This is what should happen with Team Gable, and this is my frustration after the main event last night. I am tired of seeing people congregating and having meetings and having fucking contract negotiations in the background of promo segments. It was cool at first, but now it's like when you're doing it for 6 months and you're still building it and it doesn't, and you basically waste it. That's when it's like, this is what we should have done. Odyssey, I don't want to see Odyssey Jones talking to Xavier Woods, talking to Kofi Kingston for 5 weeks in a row. Odyssey Jones saw that the New Day needed help, and they pretty much explained it after the fact. In the fact that I think it was like in a WWE.com or a backstage interview, like you said afterwards. It was basically like, yo, I was in the PC, and I seen this guy, and we trained together, and I think I like this guy, and he's a great addition to the fucking New Day, and that's what they should have done.
Yeah, absolutely. Kofi Kingston said he met him in the PC when he was rehabbing his shoulder. And when they met in the PC, it basically informed him, like, yo, we've been dealing with the AOP and the Final Testament on Raw, and I could definitely use some help. And that's a good logical explanation. I like things like that. It's a realistic one. You met Odyssey Jones is in the Performance Center. WWE wrestlers go there to rehab, and they linked up and met, and and yeah, so it's a good in-canon logical explanation. And worth noting about that is that Xavier Woods just looked kind of like he's obviously like appreciative of the help, but he's kind of just like, man, like Kofi's not even like consulting me with big decisions anymore. Like you're adding a third New Day member, and like I didn't even know who this person was until he showed up. That's kind of weird. You can discern all of those emotions and feelings just from how he was playing it by his reaction, because he's just kind of like, yeah, man, like that's cool, like cool, man, yeah, nice to meet you. He very much like conflicted in that respect. So following this, we got a pre-tape from JD McDonough, and this was good. JD said that Priest was only champion as long as he was, thanks to the Judgment Day. McDonough said he sacrificed his body for Priest, but Priest never even wanted him in the group. Balor trusted him more than Priest, and McDonough said, at the end of the day, now I'm in the Judgment Day, and you're not. McDonough said that I'm the champion, and you're not. And tonight I make you suffer. We got the backstage thing with the Odyssey Jones that we just mentioned. Austin Theory and Grayson Waller were on on Raw to settle their differences with the Awesome Truth after that Jelly Roll segment at SummerSlam. Not much to say here. 7-minute match, 2 segments. A-Town Down Under gets the win. They were allowed to be on the show allegedly because Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis had been discussing things and wheeling and dealing. So we'll see what the payoff to that is going to be. My speculation is that we're going to see Jey Uso and Sami Zayn ultimately ending up on SmackDown. A-Town gets the win here. Miz looks frustrated at R-Truth for losing, but ultimately he hugs him. So I'd imagine that Miz is turning on R-Truth soon. Cool. Damian Priest pre-tape, he responds to JD McDonough, and he said that Balor was the only one who wanted McDonough in the Judgment Day. He said
he's the only one that wanted your ass in the Judgment Day anyway.
Yep. He said McDonough had a small brain for someone with such a big head. He said JD didn't realize that he's being sent by Balor to cast the first bullet. And he warned that, like, I still got plenty left in the chamber for Finn. And he said that Priest was planning on sending JD to hell. And by God, did he do that. Kathy Kelly with Braun Breaker. Kathy asked him if he was prepared for the onslaught of superstars that were coming for the title. Braun said he noticed how many wrestlers like to talk about how long they've held the title, how many days, how many years, whatever. He said, it's been under 3 years since I debuted on WWE television, including NXT, and it took me less than 3 years to win the IC title. As far as I'm concerned, I'm the hunter and everyone else is the hunted. I'm coming for everyone. And he said he felt sorry for everybody else. He said a lot of people thought he wasn't born for this moment, but he wasn't. He said the moment and the title was born for him. He shows the nameplate on his belt, and he said no man could take his name off this title. If you pay attention to the cadence and way he was speaking and tone at the very end there, Rob, it was very like 1999 Triple H. He was just kind of like, I'm not born for the moment. The moment is born for me. Look at this name. You got to no one can take this off my title. It was very like 99, I am the fucking game, JR, like Triple H. And it would not surprise me if Triple H was looking at him face to face, giving him lines like, you're going to go out there and you're going to tell them no one can take that fucking title from you. And Hunter and Braun would be like, yeah, I'm going to say that. I'm going to say that.
Yeah.
Definitely think so. Because I can tell you this, in 2022, when Hunter first took over again, he was coaching Drew McIntyre. Because remember we were transitioning Drew out of like, because remember like in the late Vince era, he was just telling a lot of like silly folk tales and stuff. Do you remember that promo where Drew was like, then I got fired, and like he's cut that promo on Kevin Owens and was all fired up. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but that was like Triple H kind of feeding him lines, and he was really kind of coaching him initially in 2022, and I could see him doing the same with Braun. Damian Priest,
and he is.
yeah. Damian Priest, JD McDonough. This was pretty sick, Rob.
Actually, really fucking good.
Yeah,
really
this was
good.
sick. They gave JD a lot in this match. People assumed he was just going to get squashed. He didn't get squashed. He was being very physical, very defiant, very indignant, slapping Priest, fighting back on Damian Priest. Priest was physical back with him, chopping him, elbowing him, doing strikes, a lot of hard strikes. And it's very clear what works for Damian Priest wrestling-wise is strikes. And that physical side is what's helping him. He did a really high broken arrow. JD does a moonsault. There's some good stuff here. JD got a JD sucks chance, which just, it was so straight out of 2000 Raw when X-Pac would be out there and you get X-Pac sucks, X-Pac sucks, X-Pac sucks. It feels the exact same. And hilariously, JD to Judgment Day is very much what X-Pac was to DX by this point. So yeah, he got X-Pac. This is good. The crowd just really wanted to see Damon kick ass. And coming out of the commercial break, they were getting that. Damien Priest is, doing his moves and doing the choke slams and doing the throat slash gesture. And the crowd is eating all of it up, Rob. They're going nuts. And yeah, man, like they're super into him. But Priest set up JD for the choke slam. And JD got protected because he's a title holder, which I appreciated. They didn't just pin him. And Balor attacks him from behind. You get a DQ. Priest, upon seeing Balor, he sits up, but everybody swarms Damian Priest. and Liv Morgan and Dominic enter the scene. So now the whole Judgment Day are attacking Damian Priest. Priest fights them off and he gets his hands on Balor. Priest sets up with a Razor's Edge, which was so hype. He does the same like taunt setup as Razor Ramon, where like he gets them like tucked in, and he does that thing where he with his hands like stretches them out or whatever. And no, not even that thing. The like it's like you're kind of like saying like it's over, like you kind of make an X with your hands and you kind of like whip it. Yeah, that was so hype. He did that, and the crowd was like, yeah, Razor's Edge, let's go. And Balor slips out of it. What's it called? Morgan yanked Balor down and he escaped. Priest got in Morgan's face, but Dominic chop blocks him. They attack Priest until Rhea Ripley, this is my brutality. The crowd is like, yeah, Rhea Ripley. She storms down the ring. And then Dom and Liv hit the dips. They get the fuck up out of Dodge. They're running out to go to the audience. Dom escapes, but Liv Morgan was not able to escape. And Rhea Ripley grabs her. She chucks Liv Morgan to a ring post, and then Rhea Ripley sets up a Razor's Edge to Liv Morgan through the announce table. The crowd is like, yeah, Razor's Edge again. No Razor's Edge for the second time. And Dominic grabs Liv Morgan and they escape. The crowd is booing. That leaves JD McDonough alone in the ring. And Rhea Ripley is surrounding him in front of one side, and Damian Priest is on the other side. Rhea Ripley headbutts him, and then Damian Priest gets him right by the neck, picks him up sky high, and slam dunks him with the South of Heaven choke.
South of Heaven.
And then he does the throat slash. He has his straps down. He's just flexing and feeling the fire from the fans. Rhea Ripley's feeling the fire from the fans. They're fired up. They high five. They raise each other's hands. They hug. And you got what I thought was an excellent and satisfying angle and impressive in the sense that I'm watching this and I'm like, man, JD and Rhea are like superstars right now. They're like rock stars on this show. Priest is so fucking over. Rhea was always over, but now like she's in a position where people can cheer her without Dom getting in the way. And so she's over. Priest is over. They're fucking animals out there. They delayed the payoff of the two Razor's Edges because they know that's what the fans want to see. The fans want to see those bastards, Finn Balor and Liv Morgan, get their comeuppance. You're gonna have to wait. You're gonna have to wait. Go ahead.
The thing with like this booking of Priest is like it's way better than his first baby face run around.
Oh,
first time around. Because like, bro, remember when he was facing like Dolph Ziggler for 10 minutes on Raw, and they would end the match with him just like raging out and then rage quitting and basically getting disqualified? This is miles ahead of what he was doing before Judgment Day.
Yeah. 2021 babyface Damian Priest wasn't good. The Mania Bad Bunny tag was fun, but he was generally
the Sheamus match was good too at SummerSlam, but
it was fine. But like generally speaking, he wasn't any good. And this is the best his presentation has been. He's getting better and better and more over every week. And you delayed the big payoff, but you gave the fans something. You know, you don't want to give them blue balls. That's what they did. That's the old days. That's what you would do. The big heel that you're trying to get escapes the ring, but you give the fans something. So the Stooge and the Lackey gets to eat a finisher. You know, it's like Austin fighting through the corporation, and Rock's not gonna get it. Rock is gonna escape, but he's gonna hit Big Boss Man with a fucking stunner, or something like that, or Vince McMahon, or Shane McMahon, or Briscoe. You know, that's wrestling psychology. That's how you do an angle. You give them something to satisfy them in the moment while delaying the big payoff for the big moment at a pay-per-view. Great angle. Okay, after this, Damage Control were headed to the ring for their match. They get jumped by DeVille, Baszler, and Stark. Dakota Kai got destroyed, and they had targeted her knee and told her to stay out of their business. So after the break, Sonya Deville enters the ring, and she basically says, "Oh, it looks like no match tonight." Io comes out. Io will be replacing Dakota Kai, and it's the Sky Pirates together. And I gotta say, Rob, Dakota being out of the way, I like the visual better when it's just Io and Kairi, to be completely honest with you. They're dressed like the Black Lotus Triad from Lucha Underground, but they're rushing to the ring. Io comes out there. The crowd wants to chant Io. They wanted to be in this, but they couldn't be because it was a bad match. And like we said earlier, like Sonya just was a bit of a disaster here, but Io's still awesome. We got a cool moonsault insane elbow combination to the outside from the Sky Pirates, which is awesome. Io then does a moonsault in the ring, and she beats Sonya. And booked for next week, Rob, is the Sky Pirates versus Shayna and Zoe. Winner gets the women's tag title shot.
Yeah,
and that could be a good match. I'm excited for that. Io and Kyrie wrestling as baby faces is going to be really, really fun to see. And I think it's a safe bet to say, Rob, that the winner of this match, whatever team it is going to be, the winning team will win the women's tag titles. I don't think either of these teams are going to lose to the Unholy Union. So that was that. We had Ilya Dragunov talking to Sami Zayn and reminding him who he was as a champion and that he inspired others. Sami thanked him and said, "Someday you're going to be a great champion." Dragunov leaves and Jey Uso enters. And Zayn was down, but Jay said, "Hey, man, it's cool, man. Shake it off, man. I know." He said, "What is it? SummerSlam got you down?" And he's like, "Yeah, SummerSlam, man." And Zayn said, "This one in particular feels like a hard pill to swallow." And Jay said, "You're going to get your rematch and your title back. Uso going to get it next week." Zayn was like, "Nah, I'm good, man. Like, I know," because he informs him that he already talked to Pierce. He's going to get his rematch. Jay was excited, and he said, "Hey, listen, hey, maybe after that, Uso, you and me, we can go to the tag titles. You know, you could be a double champion, Uso. We'll take care of the Judgment Day." And they shook hands. So Sami's roadmap is clear. He's going to have a match with Braun Breaker next week. It's going to be 2 out of 3 falls. And then after that, he will be chasing the tag titles with Jey Uso. I think he will succeed with the tag belts. I think the Braun thing will be just kind of putting a bow on the Braun Breaker story. Chad Gable's cutting a promo to the ring. And he and the Creeds were wearing matching blue and black gear. They have new music. Their name is American Made. And the crowd was chanting "You Suck" to this very overtly patriotic theme song. And then it was time, Rob. The Wyatt Six were coming out, and they came out to "Shatter" by Code Orange, which is Bray Wyatt's last theme song. It's a great song. Yeah, man, they're coming out in their like Halloween costumes. Uncle Howdy sits on the chair. They run out there, and it's off we go. They're fighting in the ring. They're brawling, and realistically, to sum this up, essentially they ran out there. The crowd chanted "This is awesome!" literally like the second the match started because they were just happy to see the Wyatts fighting. Uncle Howdy was sitting on the rocking chair like Bray Wyatt used to do back in the day, and he's watching the action. And they're just getting into it. They're chanting "This is awesome!" You're getting some cool early action. Dexter Lumis has those hilarious fake dreads, and he's doing some moves. And Joe Gacy looked good here. He was doing some cool shit. And this is basically 11 minutes of just cool combination tag offense. We know the Creeds are awesome. They did their kind of group moonsaults where one of them does it off the bottom rope, then Julius does it off the middle rope, and then Chad Gable does it off the top rope. So they had some good tag continuity. But ultimately, this was a showcase of the Wyatt Six, and I thought they passed with flying colors. Dexter Lumis is not much of a wrestler as an individual piece. Joe Gacy as an individual piece will never be like some big superstar, right? Like Eric Rowan, like as much as we love him, like he's never going to be like a top guy. But together, they are more than the sum of their parts because ultimately the people love the Wyatt branding, and they see this as a really good tribute, and they want to support it. And they were given reasons to support it. We got this really cool handspring back double lariat from Joe Gacy that's pictured there on the Creeds. And we got some really cool exchanges. The crowd starts chanting "We want Rowan," Rob, and they're building and building and building the Rowan hot tag. And he comes in, he just wrecks shop. He's just lariat, clothesline, big boot. You know what I mean? Sidewalk slam, like big world's strongest slam. He does some Brody tributes. He does the yeah off the on the apron. He gave Chad Gable a big back body drop. He did the kind of like rolling senton out from the outside to the inside like Brody would do. And the crowd's eating all this up. They're super into it. The Creeds look good. The Wyatts look good. They very much came off like the original Wyatts, to be honest with you. Just a group of weirdos, but they worked really hard and they wrestle and they're real people. And what I really liked was Michael Cole acknowledged that. That's Dexter Lumis. He thinks he's Mercy the Buzzard, but that is Dexter Lumis. That's Joe Gacy. He believes he is Huskus the Pig, but that is Joe Gacy. And so, like I've been saying for weeks, they've satisfied a lot of my who, what, when, where, why complaints. And ultimately, they're wrestlers. They're contracted talent to WWE. A lot of individual pieces, misfit toys that have been abandoned by the system, that have been taken in by Uncle Howdy. Why are they dressing like that? Well, they want to tribute Bray Wyatt and his memory. Why are they attacking Chad Gable? Because Chad Gable abused his family, and that goes against the values of Bray and everything that he stood for. Right. So who, what, when, where, why has been satisfied. We got the backstory. They really took their time explaining everybody's motivations. And now the bell is rung. The masks are off. The crowd was into it. And the match was good. Ultimately, the Creed brothers were taken out by double Uranagis to the announce table, and Chad turns around and he eats I don't even remember what the move was, but it was this kind of like side slam thing. And to be honest, and you guys know I made this clear, I was very trepidatious about this when it started because this is not my kind of thing. And Bray Wyatt stuff is very hit or miss. But I gotta say, like, it's really hard to complain about how this has turned out as an overall package for all the reasons that I just outlined. I thought this was a very, very successful debut, and it struck the landing on what I thought was a great episode of Monday Night Raw. What did you think about this, Rob?
My frustrations with this wasn't so much as like what was going on. I just think it's my frustration with Chad Gable's booking, to be quite honest. It's not even like the Wyatts or anything. I like we talked about this last night. I think it would have made more sense if they debuted when they were supposed to debut, meaning the American Made or Team Gable. But I think it would make more sense if they were running through the division, running through people, and then the Wyatts came and like were like, "Yo, we're not doing all this," and then they beat them. But other than that, I thought this was good. It was a very good showcase for Rowan and Joe Gacy. Dexter Lumis has been doing this since 2007 and still can't find his way around the wrestling ring. But other than that, I enjoyed this, and the tag team moves with the American Made were great. So
Yeah. I think in a perfect world, because they took so long to link the Creeds and Chad up, like it took so long. If they created that team a month earlier, and they were wrecking shop all across the Raw roster, beating the shit out of people, and Chad almost is like he's a guy who feels like he made it out like a fucking bandit, because it's like in his mind it's like I dumped the losers, I got with these guys. Nobody's punishing me for it, and we're kicking ass. Like, this is great. And you have him think that and have a false sense of security for a month until, boom, karmic justice arrives in the form of the Wyatt Six. You're not going to get away with that. How dare you do what you did to Otis, Maxine, and Tozawa? Then it would have been perfect, because you have a strongly built group led by this fucking asshole, and now he's going to get what's coming to him. That's still what happened, but we didn't get to see the Creeds and Chad like dominate first, which I would have liked. I think what they're going to end up doing now is they're going to probably just have more rematches and stuff, and those rematches will probably be fun as well. And you'll probably get wins for both teams in the meantime. But I totally agree with you in that. Like, I think if you change the order of certain things, it would have made this even stronger. But even as is, I thought this was a success. So with that was Raw. And I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I thought it was a really effective show. And like I said at the top of this show, top of this podcast, this was kind of what I was asking for. I needed a status quo change. I needed new directions, reasons to be excited, and new characters being pushed. And that's what they started to do here. So I'm looking forward to how this evolves. Bash in Berlin looks to be a really good show. And Roman's back this week on SmackDown on Friday. So a lot to like in the world of the World Wrestling Federation right now. So with that said, Rob, do we have any super chats left?
we have one last super chat before
Hell
we get
yeah.
out of here. Dev2 Dust, rank these Walter matches in their prime, $5. Walter versus 05 Samoa Joe.
Oh my God.
Walter versus Morishima.
Oh my God.
And Walter versus Kobashi.
Walter Joe's my number one. Walter Kobashi's my number two. Walter Morishima is my number three.
I was gonna go Walter Kobashi number one, Joe two, and Morishima three.
I would say to you, 05 Joe is one of the best wrestlers of all time. I think that they would have like an above 5-star match. I think Kobashi and Joe would and Walter would have a 5-star match, and like Morishima and Walter would have like a 4.5, 4 3/4. All three of those matches would be amazing.
Definitely. That's all the super chats that we have for today.
You guys are great. You guys are
Great.
Double-sized Raw review, an extra hour, an extra bonus hour for you guys. I hope you appreciated that. You know what I mean? I thought you guys deserved it. Biggest party of the summer was last night. Sorry, 2 nights ago, and then Raw was the big follow-up. So big show, extra interest in the show, a lot of extra viewers. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for watching the Raw review. Again, please like the video on the way out if you have not, because it really helps our podcast. Like the video, subscribe if you haven't, and leave a comment afterwards. Give us your dream. You know what? This is your comment assignment after this. When this video is officially over and posted, comment to me What are the matchups you absolutely think need to happen in Gunther's title reign? What matchups does Gunther need to have in this World Heavyweight Championship run? So with that was the WrestlePierce Raw review. I'm Ibu. That's Rob. We'll see you guys next week.